How many of you watched Tucker Carlson's just amazing reporting last night? That's what I'm going to start with. Here we go. Oh, my goodness. Huge.
Now, back to the Steve K Show with Brian.
Oh, yes. Welcome, everyone. Oh, man. Did Tucker Carlson have the greatest investigative journalism you've seen in the corporate media in years? Oh, my goodness. I cannot tell you the last time I went out of my way and said, you know what, 8 o'clock, Tucker. I couldn't wait to get it in the morning. I could have watched it this morning. I couldn't wait. I had to watch it. And it's only part one. It's a whole week on his findings from the January 6th tapes. Now, the greatest president ever, the 45th and 47th president of the United States, Donald Trump, he put a post out on Truth Social after watching Tucker Carlson's show. Let me read that, then we'll talk about it. This is President Trump after Tucker Carlson's program last night. Congratulations to Tucker Carlson on one of the biggest scoops as a reporter in U.S. history. No doubt about that. The new surveillance footage of the January 6th events sheds an entirely different light on what actually happened. The Unselect Committee was a giant scam and has now unequivocally been stamped as criminal fabricators of this most important day. This is President Trump talking. Pelosi and McConnell failed on security. The police story is sad and difficult to watch. Trump and most others are totally innocent. Let them go free now. And he's talking about the January 6th prisoners. Okay. Now, I want to hear your thoughts and observations, those of you out there who have seen the new footage that Tucker Carlson broke down last night at 1-888-GO-CANE-1. But I want to say something going into this. A lot of people out there are saying there's nothing new here. And I'm talking about MAGA people, by the way. There are conservative MAGA people who are all over social media. Some of them are friends of mine. I don't know if they'll be after today, but some of them are friends of mine. And a lot of MAGA conservatives are saying there's nothing new here. We knew all this stuff. Okay. There's a difference between suspecting something. I have to do this all the time because it just ticks me off when people, nothing new here. We knew this. No, we suspected. If you take it out of the realm of politics, okay? You got someone on trial for murder. All the evidence points their way. And then all of a sudden, you find video footage of them doing it. You suspected them, but now you have the proof, right? There's a difference. Before, we had some ideas. We had some eyewitness accounts that told us things. But we didn't have the evidence that turned what was being dubbed as black helicopter conspiracy theories into hardcore evidence. You understand? And there were two pieces of footage that Tucker Carlson revealed last night. Tucker Carlson's very smart. He's doing this all week. So when you do something like this, you don't begin with your biggest. You end with your biggest. You build up to the big reveal, right? So what we saw last night is just the beginning. It's the least of what Tucker Carlson is going to reveal this week. But the two things that were proven beyond any doubt, not a reasonable doubt, any doubt, because we've got video evidence from the Capitol cameras, are two things that are in just amazing proof that we did not have before. One, the shaman, who I call the Viking, everyone's calling the shaman. You see him walking around the entire Capitol building, and not only is he being walked around by Capitol police officers, if you watch the footage, the Capitol police officers are trying to find him an unlocked door so that he can go into the Senate chamber. They went to several doors into the Senate chamber looking for an unlocked one for him. Did you see? That's huge. That's huge. You see them give him a tour around the entire Capitol building, but you see the Capitol Police. Then they walk ahead of him to see if the door's unlocked into the Senate building. That one doesn't work, so they take him to another until they finally find an unlocked door so he can walk into the Senate chamber. That is huge. In fact, Tucker Carlson alluded to this a little bit. He's in prison. The shaman Viking is in prison. Tucker Carlson made a mention, but he didn't want to really go there because he's still investigating. He didn't want to alienate the Capitol Police. But he was talking about these Capitol Police that walked him around and found an unlocked door for him. And they went to great lengths to find an unlocked door for the shaman. He said, that does that make them accessories to the crime that the shaman is charged with? And I would say, yes. If he committed a crime, that makes them accessories. That's huge. And don't let anyone tell you, we knew all. I love these people that just know everything in the world. There's a difference between suspecting something and having video evidence that cannot be disputed that prove what we suspected. And that's what we got with the shaman video last night. That was the first takeaway of mine. And by the way, you guys out there, you watched it. So, your thoughts on what I'm sharing, or maybe you picked up on something else with it. I certainly want to hear your thoughts. If you're on hold, stand by. The other big reveal was that the police officer that was murdered by the January 6th insurrectionists, as we've been told for over 2 years, that didn't happen, that he wasn't murdered. In fact, you see him in the Capitol building walking around doing crowd control after he was supposedly dead. They keep calling it a deadly attack. He died after the event of natural causes. But after and Biden and everybody else, Tucker showed the whole thing, have been saying that he was murdered by the January 6th protesters. Not only was that totally debunked, but Tucker showed him walking around the Capitol building after he was supposedly murdered by the January 6th insurrectionists, as they keep calling them. That's huge. And just to summarize what Tucker did last night, I'll get into more detail as it goes on, and as the show goes on. But the January 6th Kangaroo Committee lied. Okay, is lying to Congress a crime if you're a member of that Congress? They sent a referral. They sent a referral to the Justice Department for prosecutions based on things that they knew were lies. They manipulated evidence. They altered evidence and lied. And I don't think that's something that's going to go away. This is too big of a deal. So we'll take our first break of this Tuesday morning. My name is Brian Craig. You are listening to the Steve Kane Radio Show, Florida's longest running radio show. Our number toll free from anywhere, 1-888-GO-KANE 1-888-465-2631. We'll be right back.
Don't sit on the sidelines.
Oh my goodness. Now I'm going to make a prediction. Now this prediction may not. Well, no, I'm not going to say it because I don't want. I'm going to write down a prediction. And then if it comes true, I'll show it to you during the show. I'm making a prediction and I'm writing it down, and then I'll do a little Kreska, and then I'll show it to you later in the show. I don't want to say it because you guys are watching me. All right. Find out. Unbelievable. Oh man, make sure you guys like the video.
A sniffle here and a sneeze there. Your first thought is what? Uh-oh.
It's the last commercial, then we'll be back.
But did you ever think you might not be sick? You might have an allergy. Find out and have your allergies tested at any lab test now of Coral Springs or any lab test now of Boca. Any lab test now of Coral Springs is located
Well, thank you,
at
Mark.
955
I'll settle for the like since there's no love. Well, there is a heart.
In Ravenwood at the Coral Square Mall. Give them a call 954-906-5983.
Thank you.
954-906-5983. Any lab test now of Boca is in the Sandalfoot Plaza. That's where the Western Beef is, south of Palmetto and north of Hillsboro. Call them at 561-237-5009. 561-237-5009. They will test for both environmental and food allergies. No appointment is necessary. And make sure you mention you heard about them on the Steve Kane Show.
On the air since 1977, it's the Steve Kane Show with Brian.
Yes. Callers on hold, stand by. I'm Brian Craig. You know, it is March, and you know what March is? It is My Pillow March Madness going on with specials with our promo code Kane, as much as 80%, 80% off of top My Pillow products. I got to tell you about one of my favorites is the 6-piece My Pillow towel set. My wife and I have 2 sets of these. And, you know, Mike Lindell in his TV commercial, he says towels that actually work. What a concept. And that's not a gimmick. It's true. The My Pillow towels, which, by the way, I've had for a long, long time now, however long they've been out. And, you know, everything Mike Lindell makes is high quality, and they're like the day I got them. But I'll tell you a story about the My Pillow towel. I go to take a shower one morning before the radio show, and all the towels are dirty. They're out, you know, our laundry room's in the garage. So they're all out in the garage. And all I had when I got out of the shower was the washcloth from the 6-piece My Pillow towel set, just a little washcloth. And, you know, that's what I got. You know, it's all I got. So I get out of the shower and I completely dried off just using the washcloth. Not just my body, but I dried my hair too. I dried my hair, my entire body with just the washcloth from the 6-piece My Pillow towel set. And you know what? I was completely dry. My body was dry. My hair was dry. And you know what? The washcloth, I can still dry off with it more. That's how good these My Pillow towels are. Right now, the 6-piece My Pillow towel set is part of the My Pillow March Madness sale. The regular price, which, by the way, is the price I paid for my first set of My Pillow towels. So you guys are going to get your My Pillow towel set for a lot less than I got mine for. The regular price for the 6-piece My Pillow towel set is $99.98, just under $100. With our promo code Kane at checkout, Kane, just $49.99. And they come in, let's see here, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 different colors. We have 2 different colors, one for each of our bathrooms. We have one set that's white, one set that is the dark navy blue. The 6-piece My Pillow towel set with our promo code Kane at checkout, Kane, just $49.99. Half off. You can also order by phone, toll free, 1-800-716-4879. 1-800-716-4879. Promo code Kane, Kane. All right. We're talking about these incredible revelations from Tucker Carlson last night. He was going to be doing this all week, which means at 8 o'clock Eastern time every night this week, I'm going to be, well, I'm in bed. My wife and I will be in bed waiting for Tucker to come on. And last night was just huge. All right, let's go to the phones. Our number, 1-888-GIL-KANE, 1-888-465-2631. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Yeah, good morning. This is Richie. I tell you, I am shocked. For about the last 10 years, I've felt within myself that something's really gone wrong. Something isn't right with this country. You know, and then I saw President Trump become president of the United States, and I saw it's been now 7 years of all sorts of crazy attacks against him. And then I saw Tucker last night, and it verified the whole thing. This country, the Democratic Party, complete Democratic Party. So I hope any Democrat that calls up that can justify this. This Democratic Party they're thieves, they're lying.
Yep.
This whole country is being controlled. Listen, the mafia had a code. The mafia had more of a code, than what our government has right now. And I'm talking about the Democratic Party.
Well, let's get into the specifics of the video last night. I mean, what are your big takeaways from Tucker's reporting?
Things. One of the things that you didn't mention and Tucker mentioned, you know, when this producer produced all these tapes, okay, he dubbed in all of the screaming and carrying on the rioting.
Oh, hold on. Let's slow down and let's let people know what you're talking about who may have missed it. The January 6th Kangaroo Committee hired an ABC Good Morning America producer to edit and alter the tapes. And one of the things they did was take tapes with no sound and add in all kinds of ruckus sound effects to make it sound violent. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's exactly what. I used to go to TGI Friday. I'd walk into an empty restaurant and hear a lot of people there. I'd say, what's going on? They used to dub the sound to make it sound like the place was crowded. This is such a scam on the American people, Brian. This is what I've never seen anything quite like this. We are being controlled.
Well, I will tell you this. That footage of the Capitol Police taking the shaman around that find an open door. Well, not just that, they were looking for an open door so he could get into the Senate chamber. How did that happen, you think?
I believe.
I mean, what possessed the Capitol Police to say, well, let's find an unlocked door for the shaman to get into the Senate chamber in?
I said a total setup. The whole thing is a setup. I mean, Tucker kept on saying throughout the thing he can't give you facial recognition because he's just a TV show. He's not the government. They know that there's FBI informants that enticed us. They know Antifa was there. They know, and they don't give a damn. They proved it last night, by the way, with Antifa, because what happened in Atlanta, they're not going after them. That is the thug arm of the Democratic Party.
Yeah, the Antifa, what he was talking about, I think what Tucker was referencing, the people that broke the windows and the doors open and everything were Antifa and federal agents, he believes, is what he's telling us.
Absolutely, and he knows because he can't say, because he kept saying he recognized a lot of faces. Mm-hmm. Put that on the air, but he knows this is worse. How can you trust this government to go to war?
Yeah,
trust this government to do anything.
Well, you know, this Tucker Carlson special that's going to be all week is the beginning of a big old door that's opening. And justice will become of a lot of this. Won't be complete justice, but a lot. You know, I'll tell you who needs to be hauled in for questioning is members of Congress. They have immunity when they're on the floor of Congress. So, you know, but that ABC News producer and their staffers, they don't have the immunity that the members have, even former members.
How about the President of the United States when he was sworn in as president? In front of his parade, and he basically torched all of us, called it
a deadly insurrectionist that I believe was based on. And when Tucker showed the Capitol Police officer alive and well and doing crowd control after he was supposedly murdered by the MAGA people, that's huge.
Yeah, but look what happens. Lynn Cheney, Adam Kinzer, who knew this, is now on CNN, and Liz Cheney is a professor in the university.
Well, listen. Members of Congress have immunity when they're on the floor of Congress. Okay, Congress makes the laws, and they pass the laws to allow them to do all kinds of crimes. So, Liz Cheney's not going to get arrested. Kinzinger's not going to get arrested. They can't even slander while they're on the floor. Anyone, they can say anything. But there's going to be a great awakening across this country about it. I got to run for the break, Richie. Thanks for the call. Callers on hold, stand by. I'm Brian. It's the Steve Kane Show. Hey, Alexa, play True Oldies FLA. Hey, Google, play True Oldies FLA. We'll be right back after this.
Making morning radio great again. You're gonna really love it. It's the Steve Kane Show with Brian Craig.
Unreal.
The greatest rock and roll hits of the 60s and 70s coming up this morning. Beach patio, your weather center, and your luxurious outdoor spaces are created. Here's the oldies forecast.
Boy, oh boy. Now listen, guys, if you'd like to support all my content, go to mypillow.com and buy something. I pinned the link to the top of the chat if you're watching live. If you're not watching live, the link to my own My Pillow page is in the description, mypillow.com/Kane. That's the one I have pinned there. And Mike Lindell had his staff put that website together for me, and it's all of my favorites. And when I use my promo code Kane, there's humongous savings. And I was really honored that they did that with my favorites. That's what's crazy. I know. And Easter's coming up. It's April 9th this year, I think, is Easter. And there are these huge deals on the Bible Story My Pillows, 50% off the children's Bible Story pillows, which are beautiful. They're right there. Click that link and you'll see it. 50% off the children's Bible Story pillows. And there's also Bible Story throw blankets there at My Pillow. If you click that link, and they're 30% off with my promo code Kane at checkout, Kane. Those are great gifts for Easter for the kids. They would definitely love them. And of course, they're My Pillow Bible Story pillows and My Pillow throw blankets. Yes. Oh yeah, they are. Yeah, Rome. I remember you buying those. Yeah, they're awesome.
Just take my word for it. This is one of our callers who called me live on the radio to tell me how chiropractic physician Dr. Philip Appleton helped him with his laser away pain treatment. You're on the radio. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Oh, it's one of those days, guys. One of those days.
Thank you for introducing me to Dr. Appleton, Brian and Steve. I went in last week. I had a knee problem.
Oh, Bruce isn't feeling well? Well, feel better, Bruce.
I called my mother there yesterday. She has a problem with her right side or her arm. She's right-handed. She feels better. It's amazing. And for people out there that are dealing with pain, believe me, there is an alternative. Go in there for the free consultation.
Make sure you all like the video. Okay, when you guys like the video, it helps get my video recommended to other people that would enjoy this program. So when you like the video, that helps a lot, guys.
973-0710. Online, AppletonChiro.com. Open Monday through Saturday. Appointments not necessary, and walk-ins are welcome. 954-973-0710. Brian Craig here with a question for seniors and those who care about them. How would you like to have instant access to a healthcare advocate at the touch of a button? To make life easier for you, you can with I Will Advocates. I Will Advocates will help you set up doctor's appointments.
Oh, man.
To make sure that you have your prescriptions, they'll help you find a doctor and find a specialist. If you've been billed improperly by a doctor's office or a hospital, they can help you with that too. They'll even be your advocate when you're in the hospital to make sure you get the care you need.
Welcome to the stream, everyone. If you're new here, subscribe. This is the most pro Donald Trump MAGA channel on all of YouTube. All right, I promise you.
Call Debbie at I Will Advocates right now. Toll free 1-877-275-2326. 1-877-275-2326. 1-877-275-2326.
We'll be back in about 90 seconds. Well, you start with something good, but you build up, and the end will be the big one. That's how he'll do it. I don't think he's going to pick Kerry Lake. It's not going to be Kerry Lake. Kerry Lake might be his press secretary. But I don't think she's going to be his VP. All right, this is the last commercial.
Energy saving and installation company. Make your home energy efficient, cut your electric bills up to 50%, and pay little or even nothing for the repairs. Make sure you get your fair share of the Inflation Reduction Act. Rebates up to $14,000 per year. Funds available on a first-come, first-served basis. Rebate programs for low to moderate income families up to $150,000 of income.
If you're on hold, hang in there. A lot of people on hold. I'm going to go right to the phones. I don't know. I think Marjorie Taylor Greene has a Speaker of the House ship in her future. I don't think it'll be her either.
That's 954-939-1500, or go to cutmykilowatts.com and fill out the form. Now, back to the Steve Kane Show, celebrating 45 years on the air.
All right, welcome back. I'm Brian. It's the Steve Kane Show. We're talking about the huge revelations involving January 6th that Tucker Carlson broke last night on his program. 1-888-GO-KANE-1. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Hey, Brian, it's Greg.
Hey, Greg.
Listen, what is so groundbreaking about this new development that it's like one of the greatest things in journalism? And I love Tucker Carlson, but
of course
they did enter the Capitol and trespass, correct?
Well, no, you asked a question. Can I answer it? Would you like an answer? Or did you just ask questions? Do you want an answer to your question? You asked what was so groundbreaking about it. Well, there were two things that were huge. One, the Capitol Police officer that they've been telling us, including Biden, was murdered by the insurrectionist. We see him; he died after the whole event, and we see him after he was supposedly murdered in the Capitol doing crowd control. So that the fact that he was not murdered by the MAGA people inside the building, that's huge and groundbreaking, and we have video evidence that we've never seen before. The other yeah, go ahead.
And then we go first. So was anyone charged with murder in that case? Because you're using the defense to...
No, but Biden, Kamala, Biden, the media, Pelosi have all said that it was a deadly day and that there was a murder that took place. The second thing is the Capitol Police officer with the Shaman Viking walking around with him, trying to find an unlocked door so he could enter the Senate chamber. That's huge too. If he,
is guilty of, he should be prosecuted too.
He should. Well,
right, absolutely, no doubt about it. But were you trust there at the Capitol or entering the building? Why do you guys hold these people that defend the, I don't call them insurrectionists, I just call them idiots, that entered the Capitol building? How come you weren't there with them, Brian?
Well, because I didn't go that day. I told people not to go. Because the last time there was a big event in Washington, D.C., Antifa and BLM started attacking people. And I didn't want to be a part of that and didn't go.
Right. You use your common sense. Those people that were there, they're getting what they deserve. They broke the law. I thought.
Now, in fact, some of the, what the video showed is a lot of things. And what the video showed was people being guided into the building and around the building by the police officers, the Shaman in particular on the video. Oh, you don't care. Now, excuse me. In the video, excuse me, in the video last night, the shaman, who we've been told is one of the leaders of the insurrection, not only was he being escorted around by two Capitol Police officers who were trying to find an unlocked door into the Senate chamber so he could go in there. There's footage of him walking through a hallway where there's 10 or 15 Capitol Police, and none of them even said a word to him. Why did they not stop or arrest him?
I told you they should be prosecuted too. But
No. Why did those 10 or more Capitol Police officers, why did they not stop him? Why did they not even seem concerned about him? Why did they just have him walk around and do all that? Why didn't they stop him if what he was doing was wrong?
you tell me why? Why didn't they?
What do you think?
A bunch of idiots that got caught up in a situation.
Well, I will say this about Greg. When he's talking about idiots, we have to listen to him because that's an area that he has a lot of personal expertise in, being one himself. All right, let's go to another caller. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Hi, yes, this is Sandra from Indiana.
Hey, Sandra.
Hey, I was listening to that stupid idiot while I was on hold with you. You cannot arrest someone that has been escorted and let in on their own free will from the police. You can't charge them for going into the Capitol when they were escorted in there by the law enforcement.
Well, not only that, they were trying to find an unlocked door so he could go into the chamber. And when he walked down this one hallway while he was being followed around by his tour guide Capitol cops, there were 10 or more Capitol Police officers just hanging out, and they didn't even give him a second look.
And if the tables were turned and these were protesters for abortion and stuff, they wouldn't be in jail. But what I'm calling about is if the prisoners that are in jail for January 6th, if they are allowed to civilly sue the people of the January 6th committee, anyone that testified.
No, people that are, when you have immunities, when Congress is involved in official proceedings, everyone pretty much has immunity. You can't lie to Congress, but the witnesses and everything. I don't think there's anything that can be done to the witnesses, unless McCarthy wants to charge them with lying to Congress or the committee members. No, nothing can be done with them. Congress makes the laws, and they make the laws so they can do crime, like their insider stock trading that they do. Yeah.
Them on a civil lawsuit.
No. There's not. They can't do anything about that. But I'll tell you this: President Trump can very well announce that on day one of his second term, he's going to pardon all of them. He could do that, including the shaman who's in prison right now. After that video last night, he should not be in prison at all.
I watched the whole thing on January 6th, live on Real American Voice, and I didn't see anything where anybody broke the law.
I don't know about that. What about breaking the glass and stuff into the front door? That's against the law. Hey, listen, thanks for the call. All right, take care. Good morning. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
This is Mike from Louisiana.
Hey, Mike.
You're not the caller, not the last caller, but the caller. Did Ashley Babbitt deserve to be murdered?
No, in fact, Ashley Babbitt was trying to stop people from advancing. I imagine Tucker's going to have a whole section of this week just on Ashley Babbitt.
I would imagine so. And the biggest night, like you said, the biggest night is probably going to be Friday night,
It'll either be Thursday or Friday, because he may have like the big kahuna on Thursday and then Friday do a summary. But either Thursday or Friday will be the big night. I don't know which.
Right, but again,
that was Anita.
What the January 6th committee was all about was trying to set a narrative, and when releasing and him and McCarthy releasing these tapes to Tucker, that's going to destroy that narrative.
Yeah, and the media that are whining that Tucker's got the tapes. Well, now they got him because he showed him last night. The fake news media on CNN or MSDNC, MS13BC, they can go through those tapes that Tucker revealed last night and debunk them if what he's reporting is inaccurate. All they're doing is calling him a liar without going through the tapes and debunking them, because they can't be debunked. You know what they're telling us: don't believe your lying eyes.
And one thing I want to see happen is if there's 14,000 hours of these tapes, right? Somewhere in these tapes, there's got to be a picture of Ray Epps.
Well, there was last night where they showed Ray Epps outside after he had testified to Congress that he was not there at a particular time, and Tucker showed Ray Epps there 30 minutes after he lied to Congress after he said he had left.
So now, with these release of these tapes, they're going to start to investigate the investigators, this kangaroo committee, you know.
Well, we need a committee investigating the January 6th committee. Yeah, that's exactly right. Yeah. Not much can be done to them because they were members of Congress at the time, but the American people got to know. You know, whatever comes out in these tapes, I just want the truth. You know, I don't care what it shows. If it showed that the MAGA people were in the wrong, the truth. You know, I want the truth, whatever it shows. And what we saw last night. Please don't let anyone tell you there's nothing new here, that we knew all this. We had suspected things and witnesses had said things, but now we have video proof. We have evidence that we did not have before, and that is huge.
And like you said, how can you arrest somebody for trespassing when they've got a police escort trying to find them a way inside the building?
Exactly. Yeah, exactly.
This narrative is slowly coming crashing down with a big old hand grenade.
It sure is. All right, Mike in Louisiana, take care. Callers on hold, stand by. We're going to take our last break of the first hour. My name is Brian Craig. You're listening to Florida's longest running radio show, The Steve Kane Show, on the radio since 1977, celebrating 46 years on the radio. We'll take our break and be back with your calls.
The cold, hard.
Oh, man, welcome. If you're new to the program, make sure you subscribe. There's over 1,000 people in the live stream right now and just a handful of likes. So everyone, please take a moment to like the video. That will get this video and other videos of mine recommended to people that have not found my channel yet. And this is where MAGA comes to talk, man. We need to, grow this channel. President Trump's running for re-election again. So, and I'll be promoting him the whole time. So make sure you guys like the video. That's so important. Oh, boy, oh boy. In a word, why do you think those cops escorted him around looking for an unlocked door for him to enter the Senate chamber, the Shaman Viking? Crazy. Why do you think they did that? Just like in a word, maybe two. Because it goes quick, so I can't read more than a word or two quickly when the chat's going. Yeah. Is it a conspiracy theory? The conspiracy theory has been proven true. To support the narrative is a lot of words. One or two. Now. Now, it's always a free consultation with Dr. Matez. When you tell him you heard about him on the radio. 561-320-8893. 561. Yeah, that's a good one, D. That's a good one. Absolutely. Yeah, the most common is setup. Yeah. Setup is the most common. I'd have to agree with that.
Do you suffer from knee pain? Have you been told that you have bone
betrayal? A lot of people said betrayal.
Have you been told that you have osteoarthritis? Well, then come see us at Lighthouse Medical Center. We have non-surgical solutions.
The big one.
Include rehab and
Accessory. Wow.
Can prevent you from having to have surgery or prolong the surgery.
Well, you know, those Capitol cops can be called to testify now, and they're going to have to explain themselves. You know, they're going to have to explain themselves.
Select Tours invite you on an unforgettable.
I was just about to do this commercial live, and it's running recorded.
Class river cruise sailing down the Douro River from August 23rd through September 2nd. You will visit all-inspiring medieval towns while sipping wine from vineyards decorating the coastline. Free round-trip airfare to
Do another
Portugal's
commercial.
capital of Lisbon, but you've got to book by March 31st. Visit BrianPortugal.com to book your trip right now. BrianPortugal.com. We take on the social justice warriors for breakfast. Now the Steve King Show is on.
All right, callers on hold, stand by. 1-888-GO-CANE-1 is our number. 888-465-2631. We're talking about this massive story that Tucker Carlson went through last night, having been given exclusive access to unedited raw January 6th footage by Kevin McCarthy. It was amazing. And I'm asking people to call in to share their thoughts and observations having watched it. If you're on hold, stand by. I want to talk about Tom Laporta at Laporta Contracting for a moment. You know, Tom Laporta, he's a good MAGA guy. He'll never sell you a roof you do not need. And he covers the entire state of Florida. And there's an amazing new law involving property owners, both homeowners and commercial property owners, when it comes to insurance companies. Now, because of the new laws in Florida, Tom Laporta at Laporta Contracting can deal directly with your insurance company without a middleman when it comes to getting your roof repaired or replaced. Talked about this before. I used an adjuster about 15 years ago. The insurance company, I needed a new roof, and they wouldn't give me enough money for a new roof. So I hired a public adjuster, and the public adjuster got me the settlement from the insurance company for a new roof. Problem is, the fee for a public adjuster is 20%. So I still had to get a new roof, but when I got the check, I had to come up with 20% of it on my own for the guy that replaced my roof because the adjuster got 20% of it. So if you do the math, if it just, and I always use the easy math, your roof may cost much less than this, but if your roof costs 10 grand, that means you're going to have to come up with 2,000 to pay back that public adjuster. Sometimes people hire attorneys, and that's even more expensive. You don't have to do that anymore. Call Tom Laporta at Laporta Contracting. He'll deal directly with your insurance company and handle everything for you. You can find him online at LaportaContracting.com or give him a call, and this number rings directly to Tom Laporta's cell phone, 954-604-4602. 954-604-4602. All right, let's go back to our phones. You're on the radio. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Montana Mark.
Hey, Mark.
There's two things. I saw videos where they showed Trump's rally was quite some distance from the Capitol.
About a mile away.
And the break-in was going on just even before the rally was done.
President Trump was still speaking when they were breaking the windows. But did you see Tucker last night? Let's talk about what Tucker had last night. I'd like to keep it to what we know and not just a general discussion of the day. Did you see Tucker last night?
You know, I didn't know it was on, so I missed it.
No, you missed it. Well, don't miss it at all this week. Every night this week, he's going to be covering this.
There's something else I can't remember, but didn't Pelosi's daughter have something to do with that TV crew?
Well, Pelosi's doctor, she needs a doctor to examine her mind. Pelosi's daughter is a documentary filmmaker, and coincidentally, her daughter was filming a movie that day and had an entire film crew with her. Wonder why she had an entire movie crew with her. It's almost like she knew there'd be something worth filming a movie about on January 6th. Interesting. She must be very lucky to have had that whole film crew on that day there, huh?
Yeah, staged event.
Yeah, well, you know how much that cost to have a movie crew there? I'm so glad she didn't waste her money. She just coincidentally, Pelosi's daughter had an entire movie crew there at great expense. And wow, there just happened to be historical news that took place that day. That's amazing. All right. It's almost like she has a sixth sense to see the future. Hey, Mark, thanks for the call. You're on the radio. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Hello.
Yes, you're on the air.
Yes, hi. My name's Kathy, and I'm calling in from New York. And I hear these people speak that, January 6th was worse than September the 11th.
Yeah.
Something. I want to tell you, these people need to keep their mouths shut. I was there. I experienced 9/11 in New York, and that was the gates of hell opening up, right? There was nobody flying out of buildings with babies coming out of them, all right? I lost two friends from Kansas Fitzgerald, all right? Two brothers, all right? So a mother had two sons to lose, not one, okay? And one was going to be a father, and that's about to see that baby be born, all right? So all you people out there, you liberals, that say that January 6th was worse than 9/11, shut your holes in your face because you don't know what you're talking about, like everything else.
Yeah, that's a vile comment to make. To say, Kamala Harris has said that. That's just a disgusting, vile comment.
She's disgusting, that woman. She doesn't know nothing unless you were there and you didn't see it. Okay, I saw it. I was there. I lived through it, and I can't get anything out of my head to this day. Okay, those people are scarred. Okay, and those people that say that January 6th, that was nothing. January 6th, all right, nothing at all. That poor girl that lost her life, that got shot going into the window and everything. Poor, shame on them. Shame on all of them. And they don't know what they're talking about. Nobody knows what they're talking about because unless you were there and you saw it, okay, you got to shut your mouth, all right? Because those people are devastated, okay, and half of those people aren't coming home.
Yeah. I know it's rough. All right, thank you for the call. Yeah, that's just vile filth to compare that to 9/11. I wasn't there, but I remember that day. Yeah, we were on the air live when that happened, and that was a rough day for us all. Good morning. You're on the radio, or well, I don't know. We have one member of Congress that said some people did some things that day. Remember that? Oh boy. All right, you're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Mark from Jupiter.
Hey, Mark.
Hey, I just wanted to confirm one thing that it did. It was going on at the Capitol before Trump was ended. I was there. My wife's in Florida. My phone rings. I'm listening to Trump, and she says, "Get the heck out of there. The peanut butter's hitting the fan." I go, "What are you talking about? They're storming the Capitol," she says. I said, "Who? There's a million people standing around me." It went down before Trump was even done speaking.
That's correct. And of course, he said peacefully walk to the Capitol, peacefully, which of course they edited that out of the January 6th committee.
Well, I was there.
Oh, okay.
Being a good husband, I did what my wife told me. I didn't go to the Capitol. I went home.
Well, you're lucky you're not in the DC Gitmo.
Yeah, I'm telling you.
Mm-hmm. All right, take care. Take care. All right, let's go. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Hey, Brian.
Hey, Wellington.
Yeah, I was just calling in because I couldn't believe Greg would actually go with the side of the people that didn't even disclose all of the discovery of the place that day. And 14,000 hours, supposedly 41,000 hours from what we heard now. But I mean, if he's a lawyer, if that man is an actual lawyer, a practitioner of law, then he should know that if you're holding back evidence, then you can't really have a case be correctly prosecuted or not prosecuted.
Yeah.
So what surprises me about a lot of these people that are so brainwashed to the point where they wouldn't think that there would be conspiracy behind anything, it just shows that they're closed-minded and they don't realize that what these people were trying to do was kill our movement like they did the Tea Party.
Well, they almost did it. Now, did you watch Tucker last night? Why do you think the cops, the Capitol Police, were trying to find an unlocked door for the shaman to walk into the Senate chamber for? Why would they? What would possess them to do something like that?
It's pretty obvious that it was all malicious. Their whole plan was malicious in the first place, to lie and to come out with a first narrative, because that's what everybody goes with. So for it to be 2.5 years later at this point, I mean, the normies, the people that don't really pay attention to what's actually going on,
Yeah.
have their opinion of what's going on. And that's the reason why it's a travesty. This is how they've done things for years. We just never knew. And being that I was there that day and saw that the police actually were the ones who were the aggressors, it shouldn't even be in a question that if it was a setup or not.
Well, I'll tell you what, all of those Capitol Police, not just the two that were walking the shaman. What, you okay? Did you fall down the stairs, or was that ice cubes? Sound like ice cubes.
No. Just dealing with something at the job.
Okay, dealing with something at the job. Okay, well, listen, I got to run anyway, but thanks for the call. All right, Vincent Wellington, take care. Listen, those police officers, the two that were escorting the shaman around to find an unlocked door into the Senate chamber, and that dozen or so officers that he walked by and they didn't even look at him, all of them need to be called in to a congressional committee. Jim Jordan needs to put them under oath and find out what they were doing and how that happened. Crazy town going on here. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Good morning. How you doing?
All right. Hey, Maria.
Hey, how you doing?
All right.
I watched that last night too. It is, oh my God, but you know what? We always respected it, but we never seen real proof of it. And just like you said, we got the proof now that the Democrats set this up. I see.
Yeah.
They shot it up, and the guy that was walking through the Capitol, he was actually being walked through by the police. I mean, literally.
Well, yeah, that's insane. I've never seen anything like it.
Yeah. Me either. And for this guy to get, 4 or 5 years, I think they said 4 years in prison. Wow, that's horrible. And I don't want to make no excuses for the ones that broke windows. They made a wrong. Maybe it'll show up one day, but the ones that broke window and broke property or tore up property, yeah, they should, they should have not have done that.
Yeah.
Control, and they, went off the rail.
Mm-hmm. Did you watch Tucker last night?
Yes, I did.
Oh man, I mean, wasn't it shocking? What do you think about the police officer they say was murdered by the MAGA people? They Tucker showed him alive long after they said he was murdered.
Yeah, I think the family did come out and explain it to the media.
Yeah.
Did not
bunch of liberals.
Hear it.
The family are a bunch of establishment liberals. Hey, listen, take care. Thanks for the call, Maria. We're going to take our break for the top of the hour. If you're on hold, stand by. We're talking about what really should be an award-winning television news, Emmy, Pulitzer Prize-winning report last night by Tucker Carlson with the January 6th footage. We'll continue with this after the break. I'm Brian Craig. It's the Steve Kane Show, Florida's longest-running radio show on the radio since 1977. Back with more after this break.
WWNN Pompano Beach. Programming paid for by Vic Canales Media Group. Broadcasting from the Robe Studio. Injured recently? Call the Robes Law Group, where winning is a habit. 561-570-5700. 561-570-5700. Robes, winning for you and our community. Your home for the Steve Kane Show. From the Palm Beach Patio Furniture Weather Center, where luxurious outdoor spaces are created. Here's the Oldies forecast.
Good morning, everybody. Hope your day is off to an awesome start. We're going to see daytime highs again today in the upper 80s, hotter than even yesterday. Partly cloudy skies throughout and light winds. I'm the BPF 25 for Strike Meteorology.
Oh man, I got to tell you guys, Tucker Carlson, as much as we all have problems with Fox News, Tucker Carlson deserves a lot of credit. He really does, doesn't he? I mean, that's...
And now, a true Oldies traffic check. Brought to you by the Palm Beach Kennel Club.
Oh, yeah, I'm going to play CNN's response to Tucker when we get back.
injury and insurrection. I think.
Yeah. Yeah, CNN's response is pathetic. Just pathetic. Well, it's like I've been saying all along. I just want the truth. Whatever it shows, it shows. And I'm so glad Kevin McCarthy released this. I mean, look at all the theories about the Kennedy assassination. That's because the government, right, 60 years later, still will not release all the information. So, these things, you release everything. And why? You look at the Kennedy assassination 60 years ago. What could be the possible reason not to release that information today? Right? Almost everybody connected to that is dead. Right? There's very few people alive. It's because, like Robert Kennedy Jr., Bobby's son, says that it was a deep state operation, both his father and uncle's assassination. That's why they don't release everything. And Kevin McCarthy, I think Kevin McCarthy, this is what I think happened here with McCarthy. When we had those holdouts, the Matt Gaetz holdouts, I think Trump made a deal with Kevin McCarthy that if he released all of this footage to Tucker Carlson, he'd release those MAGA Republicans led by Matt Gaetz and vote for him to be speaker. I think that's exactly what happened. This is all happening because of President Trump. When I get back on the air, I'm going to share that on the radio. I mean, what do you guys think about that? That's why we had so many votes for the speaker. What do you guys think? Oh yeah, absolutely. I think that's exactly what happened. Absolutely. Mm-hmm. Absolutely. By the way, there's over 1,000 people in the live stream and still less than 500 likes. Guys, when you like the video, it tells the YouTube algorithm to recommend this video and my other videos to people that have not yet found my channel. So liking the video helps so much, guys. So please like the video. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Eventually, they're going to release it all to the public. It should be. It should all be online for people, anybody to access, all of it. And it will be eventually. He's controlled. He wants to be Speaker of the House more than anything in the world. So he's controlled opposition, Kevin McCarthy. I wouldn't trust him either, but Trump's got him under control right now. So. Well, thanks, Diane. Appreciate that. There we go.
Now, back to the Steve Kane Show with Brian Craig.
All righty. Welcome back, one and all. I'm Brian. It's the Steve Kane Show, Florida's longest running radio show on the radio since 1977. Okay. Callers on hold, stand by. We're talking, just to recap what we're doing. Tucker Carlson did his first, and it's going to be an entire week of this. He did his first entire hour on his findings from the January 6th videos that Kevin McCarthy gave him, and it was filled with groundbreaking evidence and proof we have not seen before. It's absolutely amazing. So I'm asking people to call in with their feelings and observations having watched Tucker last night. I want to say something, though. What happened last night on Tucker Carlson, having access to the video footage, President Trump, I believe, the great President Trump, the 45th and 47th president of the United States, President Trump arranged for Tucker Carlson to get this footage. I think what happened is when we had those great MAGA Republicans in the House led by Matt Gaetz, stop Kevin McCarthy from becoming speaker for all those votes. And we found out at the end that Trump was working the deal with Marjorie Taylor Greene and Kevin McCarthy. I think one of the conditions that Kevin McCarthy agreed with President Trump to cave on was to give all of this footage to Tucker Carlson on January 6th. And so I think Trump did all of this. So it's absolutely amazing. And President Trump is brilliant and great, and he's the deal maker. It was the art of the political deal, and this was part of it. Kevin McCarthy wanted to be speaker so bad, and he still wants it. And he's been doing everything perfect since he's been speaker. He is under the thumb of President Trump, who tells him what to do through his direct representative. President Trump's direct representative in Congress is, of course, the great Marjorie Taylor Greene, who very well could be Speaker of the House one day. All right, let's go. You're on the radio. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Hey, Brian, it's Rick from Pearl Springs.
Hey.
Hey, Brian. The thing that I think that needs to happen next is the Republicans need to put pressure on the judicial system to bring that Ray Epps guy in and charge it.
Well,
charges. He's going to flip.
Well, Epps, what we really need is Epps hauled before a congressional committee led by Jim Jordan and find out who he is, what he is, and what is real. I got a bad connection, so I got to let you run. But, you know, his whole background is really a mystery. That is, we've never gotten to the bottom of that. And I imagine part of what Tucker does this week will involve Ray Epps, because there was a couple of references last night. Good morning. You're on the radio. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Hello?
Yeah, you're on the air.
Hi. Hey, my name's Christine, and I live in Florida.
Hey.
There's a couple conundrums that go on, and I'm glad these things have been released to the American public. But it's a funny thing, because I sit in my car, I'm homeless, and I listen to your radio show in the morning, and I appreciate that. However, on your radio break, the local news station put on something, and they're trying to denounce what was released.
Well, people can try. Listen, there's an old saying. There's an old saying. Don't believe your lying eyes. Right? We saw the footage last night on Tucker Carlson, and it cannot be debunked. It shows what it shows.
I agree. And you know what? I want to know, and I wish you will look into this, because you do your own investigation and stuff.
Yes.
Why did Nancy Pelosi all of a sudden?
Well, she's still around. She's still around. Yeah. Let me ask you though. You said you're homeless. You live in your car in Florida. What's that about?
Cancer, stage 4 cancer, and I'm happy. I'm happy.
Well, why are you homeless living in your car in Florida?
Because I exhausted every means of income to pay for medical treatment.
Really, you don't have you don't have like disability or anything?
Let's not get into that. I mean, this is a radio show.
No, I'm talking to a woman who tells me she's homeless, living in her car with cancer, and that's I got to ask you about it. You know, I mean, but okay.
You're gonna be homeless. It's better to be homeless in Florida, Old Sound, Florida, than anywhere else.
Because, yeah.
A minute. I'm not stuck inside 4 walls with nurses all the time. And I'm a caregiver. I was a nurse. I'm good with it.
Okay.
Back to it. Look into the Pelosi thing. Why is it after her husband that they have the best security at her place? Someone snubbed it.
Well, I don't want to get to. I want to. I want to focus in on what's going on in the news right now. But you make some good points. Thanks for the call. All right, and good luck. Good morning. You're on the radio. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Good morning, DeSantis.
Oh, hey, Doug.
And make me feel bad that you get illegals come in and get.
No, I wouldn't. I know that's what I didn't want to get into it because any harder because she was uncomfortable and I didn't want to embarrass her or shame her. But here we have illegals staying in 5-star hotels in Manhattan, and I'm talking to a woman in Hope Sound who's living in her car, who's got cancer.
Something's not right. Anyway, the whole society is falling apart. I can't believe Tucker brought out. Everybody knows that the Democrats will do anything. But man, I didn't think they were that bad. This is terrible. They say we were insurrection. This is an insurrection. That's what they.
Well, did you watch Tucker last night? Well, what was going through the mind of these Capitol Police officers who were trying to find an unlocked door into the Senate chamber for the shaman?
This is what we have to investigate. Somebody told them stand down, be nice to everybody, and whoever did that should go to jail. I mean, this is ridiculous. I never saw a cop that would ignore his duty. His duty is to protect that place, not to walk people through and find open doors and let them do what they want to do. This is really somebody with high power told them just to let everybody alone, let them in, and let's make them look bad. And unfortunately, MAGA fell for this, but now there's FBI and then Antifa. Man, what a mess.
Well, now you got to remember with Tucker Carlson, when you're doing something like this, you don't start with your biggest break. You start and you end with your biggest. His big finale will either be Thursday or Friday. If he might do it on Thursday, so we can do a summary on Friday. But the finale could be Friday. Who knows? This is insane. And I'll tell you what, Fox News should replay his entire week of shows in 24-hour loop over the weekend. They should cancel all programming over the weekend and just rerun Tucker's show from all weekend long. I'm talking about Saturday and Sunday. There's nothing on the weekends on Fox worthy of watching anyway. It's all boring. John Scott and all those people.
I don't watch Fox anymore. I only put Tucker on because I knew he was going to talk about January 6th. But man, I'm glad I watched it. Man, I'm telling you, I thought the country was bad, but I didn't think it was bad, man.
Well, I'll tell you, I cannot remember the last time that I said, you know what, Tucker's going to be on at 8:00. I got to stop everything I'm doing. We got to watch it. You know what I mean? I haven't done that, and I can't remember really ever doing that before. Maybe I have, and I just forgotten, but I don't. It's been a long time since there's been something coming up on the news where I stopped everything I was doing. All right, hey, take care, Doug. Got to run. It's the Steve Kane Show. I'm Brian Craig. Back after this.
Don't sit on the sidelines. Get it on.
Oh my goodness.
Steve Kane Show live on air now. 888 GO K1.
Unreal.
This is the Steve Kane Show with Brian Craig. Oldies 95.9 and 106.9.
Wow.
Craig here. Right now, Mike Lindell is offering the My Pillow, the pillow that started it all. Regular price $49.98, just $19.98 with our promo code K.
Boy, oh boy. There's over 1,100 people in the live stream and less than 600 likes. So please, guys, like the video. That helps spread the word about this program so much when you like the video. Please like the video. So, Tucker Carlson, what do you think his grand finale could possibly be? I mean, I know one night will have to be about Ashley Babbitt, I would guess, wouldn't you think? Yeah. So there's got to be some major things coming. What would you guess? What would be his big finale? It's hard to imagine because last night's was so good. Don't worry, I'm taking care of things about the lady. Don't worry. Oh boy. Man. Yeah, when I get back, before I take some more calls, I'll play the pathetic CNN response with Allison Camerata, who used to be at Fox.
Think you might have COVID? Have you come into contact with someone who is sick? Are you traveling and need a COVID test? Same-day PCR testing is available at any lab test now at Coral Springs on the southeast corner of University and Ramblewood near the Square Mall. Monday through Saturday. No appointment necessary. On the air since 1977, it's the Steve King Show. Brian Craig.
All right, welcome back, one and all. Call us on hold, stand by. I'm Brian Craig. It's the Steve Kane Show. I want to talk about this incredible cruise down the Douro River through Portugal with select tours. And this is a river cruise down the Douro River through Portugal's wine country. It's August 23rd through September 2nd, and it's limited to just 15 couples. Now, remember, you don't have to be a couple. You can go single if you want, but they are limited in number to 15 couples. Now, if you book before March 31st, it's very important because we're already March 7th. If you book before March 31st, you will receive free airfare to the capital of Portugal, Lisbon, right? That's great. Here from the United States. And also included is high-speed rail from Lisbon to Porto, where your luxury river boat will be waiting. Now, this is Porto is where all the best port wines are. And this is a wine sampling and culinary tour down the Douro River through Portugal's wine country. It's a first-class experience. Breakfast, lunch, dinner, and tips are included. And August 23rd through September 2nd, this is the best time of year to visit wine country because the grapes are on the vines. And not only are you going to stop at these vineyards along the way and have great wines and great food, you're going to be able to take grapes right off the vine at these vineyards and sample the grapes right off the vines. It's absolutely amazing. This is one of those once-in-a-lifetime trips. You will remember it for the rest of your life. It is a first-class experience. For more information, to request a brochure, you can do that online at brianportugal.com. That's brianportugal.com or call 512-351-6643. 512-351-6643. Again, that's 512-351-6643 or online, brianportugal.com. Okay, so CNN gave a response last night, which was just so pathetic. You know, I just don't, before Trump came down the elevator, I don't remember the news being in the business of covering up news like they are now. The news are in the business of not broadcasting news, but covering up news. Not covering, but covering up news. And they get very annoyed when someone actually reports news like the great Tucker Carlson did just last night. This is Allison Camerata on CNN, who used to be at Fox. She's been at CNN for years. Listen, and she's got some weirdo guest.
Stairs. I mean, that wasn't the news part of that day. The news part of the day was that there was an insurrection. It was the hundreds of people who caused damage and injury and insurrection. I think he's missing maybe the headline from that day.
Yeah, and how they got in the Capitol by overrunning the Capitol Police. That's a key part of this, obviously. And what we saw tonight, Allison, from Tucker is nothing new. He has been trying to sanitize the very real violence that we all saw.
By the way, this guy is, I guess he's replaced Brian Stelter. He's the senior media reporter of CNN.
At the U.S. Capitol in real time for quite some time now. I think what's really notable here is that he had a very key assist from Kevin McCarthy, someone who was at the Capitol on that day, who condemned the violence in the immediate wake of that attack, but has since tried to get back in the good graces of Trump and the MAGA fan base. And so what's so key here is that he helped Tucker Carlson try to rewrite history by giving him this surveillance footage that he denied to actual news organizations. And now Tucker Carlson's back at his usual game of trying to, not even trying to, of lying to his audience about the events of that day.
Guys, they were sightseers, according to Tucker.
I think this is a huge strategic misfire for Carlson, for McCarthy, for that whole ecosystem, because the last thing common sense Republicans want to do is relitigate January 6th. They want to move on.
Okay, now that's that guy there. He's a former advisor to W and John McCain, so you know where he's coming from. But you know, they have the footage now because Tucker showed it last night. Notice how they're not going through the footage and saying, "Listen, Tucker Carlson has misrepresented this footage. Let's review it, and this is what really happened." They've not been able to debunk anything Tucker Carlson reported last night because it's the truth. You know, like I remember back in the days of the Bigfoot sightings, they always would have Bigfoot. He was far away, and he always had like his right leg bent like he was walking. And I saw people who would go through the Bigfoot footage and say, this is fake. This is a gorilla suit. You know, I don't see them going through the footage and saying, well, let's review what Tucker reported with his commentary and show you what really happened. They're not doing that because they can't debunk it. All right, let's go. You're on the radio. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Hey, Brian, it's Ben from Pompano.
Hey, Ben.
So I ask you, is there anyhow, that they actually, this is officially technically labeled either with the DOJ or the FBI or some law that this is an insurrection? Why do they keep using that term?
Because they're crafting a narrative. They're crafting I mean, how many people were charged with insurrection?
It's that this meets the technical definition of an insurrection. And she was speaking about the station you're on playing the local ABC news roundup. They kept using that term, insurrection. And I honestly think they're trying to cover the bombshell reporting dropped last night by obfuscating it with this nefarious dark term insurrection again and again and again. It's like the people, the NPCs out there who don't think need to have their software updated and just the word insurrection injected into them so they don't have to actually look at what happened. I've heard a great term. It's called a thought terminating cliche, and it's for people who can just say things like we stand for democracy or it was an insurrection, where they don't actually have to think about
Well, Democrats are all about propaganda. And I remember when Obamacare was rejected by the American people, I saw Barack and Michelle on an interview, and it was a big network interview, and they said, well, we just messaged wrong. You know, everything with them is lies, misrepresentations, and propaganda. That's what the left do.
Oh, 100%. So the biggest thing when his numbers hit all-time low in last summer, what did they say? They didn't say that our policies are bad. They just kept saying we haven't communicated to the American people what we've accomplished.
That's right.
A matter of actual accomplishment. It was a matter of they didn't spin it properly.
That's right.
Right, because and this goes back into postmodernism where they don't. Words are only used as a tool to obtain power.
We are living in George Orwell's 1984, and we are, and that's a fact. 2 + 2 is 3. And this is what's going on here. But as I say, and I've said this before, the first story, whatever the video shows, it shows. I just want the truth of what happened. And you notice the left, they're panicked about the truth. Panicked. And one of the big bombshells that came out about Tucker really has not been explored yet. He found that the January 6th committee, with that Good Morning America producer they hired, took silent video and put sounds, including screams, over silent video to make it sound as if it was more of a ruckus going on. And that's criminal stuff.
Wow. Yeah, Joseph Goebbels would be so proud of this modern Democratic Party. I mean, the lengths they go to
what? Yeah, they're like Baghdad Bob. If you guys remember Baghdad Bob, the Americans are on the retreat. They're right across the street, and he's saying we're on the retreat. I got to run for our break, but thanks for the call. If you're on hold, stand by. We're going to take our bottom of the hour break. And when we get back, I'm going to go right back to your calls. We're talking about Tucker Carlson's just amazing program last night, the first installment that's going to go on all week long because he was given exclusive access to the raw January 6th footage. It was amazing. It was shocking. It was new. And it proved that the conspiracy theories are now fact. Fact. We no longer have conspiracy theories. We have conspiracy facts now. I'm Brian Craig. It's the Steve Kane Radio Show, Florida's longest running radio show. Alexa, play True Oldies FLA. Hey, Google, play True Oldies FLA. There you go, guys. We'll be right back.
Making morning radio great again.
Now, listen, I am 40 subscribers away from 58,000. Okay. Can you guys get me to 58,000 subs during the show today? Can you possibly do that? I know you guys got a lot of friends and everything. I am 40 subscribers away from 58,000. So is there any way you guys could get me to 58,000 subscribers by the end of the show today? We got 90 minutes to go. And I know like Chuck was with me when I had less than 300 subs. You know, I think Chuck was with me when I had like 163 subs. I know, that word sub freaks out a lot of people. It's free. Oh, now I'm just 39 subs away from 58K. So please subscribe to my channel. Get everyone you know to subscribe. Give me that 58K. Oh my goodness. That would be absolutely amazing. A great early birthday gift. Oh man, it just seems like we were trying to get to 50K. I'm hoping, D. Yes. If you guys can get me to that 58K, it'll make my day. Oh my gosh, I'll be so excited. I'll call my wife after the show. Hey, Kathy. We hit 58K. Oh man, that's amazing. Everybody that subscribes and supports the program, thank you guys a lot. I mean, it's absolutely amazing. I appreciate the listeners and watchers of this program more than you know. You guys make the show possible. Without you guys, there's no show. There's no show if you got no listeners and viewers, right? That's right. Absolutely. Oh man, 36 away from 58,000 subscribers. Oh my goodness. All right, appreciate those new subs. Come on, guys. I know you guys can get me there. We got 90 minutes till the end of the show. So oh, I'm answering some text and DMs during the break. Oh, man. Oh, man. Yeah, I'm going to go right to the phones after the break. I do a quick recap. I hope so, Pixie. I hope so. Oh, man. It's hard for like a white MAGA conservative guy my age to get that many subs. You got to be, if I were a minority or like a hot girl, I'd be at like 500,000, but I'm just a white guy with a guitar, like they say on American Idol. It's true. But that's okay. Oh man, I'm gonna go turn the air conditioning down. It is hot in here, but you know what? I've got my wireless microphone, so you guys can hear me walking all the way to the AC. Oh man, it is hot in here. Let me see what the temperature is here in the radio station. It is, oh my goodness, it is 77 degrees. I'm gonna turn it down to 70. I like it cold. There we go. Just clicked on 77 degrees. My goodness. It's really hotter than that in here because of all the radio equipment. Oh, there, I just heard the air pop on. Oh, that air conditioner feels good. Well, thank you, guys. Well, this is Florida. It's hot in Florida. Oh, man. No, MAGA Speedo. That might get me to the 100K if I wore a MAGA Speedo, but I don't think I'm going to do that. I'll never wear a Speedo. Oh man, there's over 1,100 of you. There are enough people in this chat room that are not subscribed. I promise you, to get me to the 58,000. There's over 1,100 people in the live stream right now, and I know there are enough of you in there that are not subscribed that could get me over that 58K during the show today. Oh no, I'd never wear a Speedo. No way. Real men don't wear Speedos. Okay, now we're only 34 away from 58,000. I know you guys. Thanks, guys. I appreciate your help. Yes, we are back. I'm Brian Craig. It's the Steve Kane Radio Show. Callers on hold, stand by. Let me do a quick recap. We're talking about Tucker Carlson's amazing program last night with just huge breaking news involving January 6th. And callers are calling in, sharing their thoughts, having seen it last night. Our number is toll free, 1-888-GO-KANE-1. 888-465-2631. Now, the greatest president ever, Donald Trump, was watching. You know, when I was watching Tucker last night, I said, you know, I was laying in bed with my wife watching Tucker Carlson, and it was just amazing. And I said to my wife, I said, do you think President Trump's watching right now at Mar-a-Lago? She said, of course he is. And sure enough, the greatest president ever was watching. And right after Tucker went off the air, President Trump shared his thoughts on Truth Social. Let me read the post, and then I'll go to the phones. This is President Trump last night. Congratulations to Tucker Carlson on one of the biggest scoops as a reporter in U.S. history. The new surveillance footage of the January 6th events sheds an entirely different light on what actually happened. This is President Trump on Truth Social right after Tucker signed off last night. The Unselect Committee was a giant scam and has now unequivocally been stamped as criminal fabricators of this most important day. Pelosi and McConnell failed on security. The police story is sad and difficult to watch. Trump, in quotation marks, because this is President Trump's post, Trump and most others are totally innocent. Let them go free now. Wow. Did any of you out there wonder if the president was watching while you were watching Tucker last night? Well, he was. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from? Good morning. You're on the radio. What's your name? Where are you calling from? Okay, once, twice. All right. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Good morning, Brian. It's Slick from the YouTube live chat.
Hey, Slick.
Hey, I just wanted to call and give you my opinion. You had asked what you think that the finale will be for Tucker's January 6th video releases. I think it's going to end up being Mike Pence counting his 30 pieces.
Yeah. You know, I don't know. Sometimes when Slick calls in, Slick is pretty slick. So I never know if what he's saying is sarcasm or not. That's I think what my hope would be is it would be involved in, it would have something involved with Ray Epps, who he really is, what he was really doing, and who he works for. That would be the biggest.
I was making a joke there, but
I know you're slick with the humor.
Yeah, I try to be. Quick subject change. You have been kind of antagonistic on Tucker at times, and
sure,
reasons why, because I know you recently said some negative things about President Trump, but you do have to realize that Tucker, he's got to toe a certain line at Fox News, and
Well, listen. These. Yeah, go ahead.
He works at Fox News. He doesn't work for Fox News.
Correct. Like last night, Hannity had DeSantis on, and he had him on before President Trump. And a lot is being made of that, he disrespected President Trump by having DeSantis on first. Well, first off, the star always comes on after the opening act, But last week, Hannity had Pence on again. He's got to have Pence on. He's required to have Pence on to show equal time and balance to do the other things that he does. So, both Tucker Carlson and Sean Hannity are working under tremendous pressure with these never Trumpers over there. Absolutely.
Well, I don't trust Hannity because he feels slimy to me. Well, Tucker, he doesn't give me that feeling. And with this release of the January 6th book,
oh yeah,
I think that he's definitely trying to send a message. And let me ask you this: if Hannity had this footage, do you think he would have gone to the lengths to edit it? No. I don't think he would have either.
Well, Hannity is under tremendous strength. Tucker Carlson is old money, and Hannity's new money. And he's gone through a very high-profile divorce. He's got big alimony because his wife he left was with him when he was broke. You know what I mean? And he makes $50 million a year, but half of that goes to the ex. He's under tremendous financial strains and everything. Tucker Carlson comes from old money. His stepmother, Tucker Carlson's stepmother, is the heiress of the Swanson TV dinner family. So, so when you come from old money, you have a little more freedom than someone from new money with huge alimony payments.
Yeah, well, that's Hannity's problem. And I will say this, that it's a damn good thing that Kevin McCarthy got bent over a barrel during his nomination to be the speaker, because if we didn't have President Trump, putting the screws to him, we probably wouldn't have gotten this footage through Tucker.
There's no doubt in my mind that Trump was holding back our MAGA Republicans led by Matt Gaetz for many reasons to get many concessions from Kevin McCarthy. But releasing this footage to Tucker was at the top of the list, and Trump got this done, I believe.
Yep. That it is an excellent thing that we have it, and
oh yeah,
it's a great thing that Trump.
And you know what? All of us in the MAGA movement have been calling for this raw footage to be released for a long time, and we don't know what it's going to show. We think we know what it will show, but we don't know for sure. We're not afraid of the truth, right? I'm not afraid. Whatever it shows, it shows.
We wanted to show the truth, and we wanted to be able to clear the name of these people who are being held in captivity somewhere in Washington, D.C. for things that they didn't do.
Yeah. All right, Slick. Take care. Thanks for the call. Slick's calls are always very good. 1-888-GO-CANE-1. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Good morning, Brian. It's Andrea.
Hey, Andrea.
First and foremost, everyone on that committee, including the producer, should be criminally charged for what they did. Every one of them. And that's another thing President Trump should run on. Not only pardoning the January 6th prisoners, but criminally charging everybody on that committee.
Yeah.
For multiple things.
Well, Jim Jordan needs to bring all these people in. I want these cops that were trying to find an open door, which they eventually did for the shaman, so he could walk into the Senate chamber. I want them in front of Jim Jordan for and answering a lot of questions. You know, I want those would be my first two witnesses that I would call if I were Jordan. That was just sick.
Absolutely. Not only that, but even the cop that went, there were two policemen who went into the well with the shaman, and they were talking to people.
Mm-hmm.
But here's my thing: how much more? It baffles me. How much more do people need to see, right? Especially these liberal lunatics who will not believe what they're seeing because they're so brainwashed. And in my opinion, what you're actually seeing and what we have been seeing from Elon Musk releasing the Twitter files to now,
that's right,
your Fauci thing to now the January 6th, is you are seeing abusers losing control of their victims.
That's right.
You're really seeing. And I hope to God every mainstream media company, including Fox, just burns into.
Well, Fox is appreciate the call, Andrea. Fox has allowed this footage to be released by Tucker, so I think we got to give some credit to Fox today. I don't know. I got a lot of problems with Fox too. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from? Good morning. Yeah, you're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Keith Levinson from.
All right, Keith in Long Island. What's up, Keith?
Good. How you doing, Brian? So back to what Tucker, the main event here, what Tucker's going to show. There's two things that I believe it could be. One of them would either be how there's all those black cars that was reported on the day if you were watching. If they got video footage of that, that's probably going to be the FBI to take with the setup. Or the other thing that could be the finale would be there's still questions on that locked door and how that got unlocked.
Which door? Are you talking about the front door or what?
That there was a door that was locked by magnetic.
Yeah.
Yeah, and those doors. I mean, somebody had to have.
Well, he's not going to identify people. He talked about that last night because they might be federal agents, he said. So they're not going to identify people. But I'd like to know the identities of the people who broke the front windows of the Capitol, crawled inside, and opened the doors from the inside. I've always suspected they're either Antifa or feds, and that's very important to find out who those people are.
Absolutely.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, the January 6th committee, of course, never called any of those.
Mm-hmm. That's right.
And that's ridiculous.
Yep. Yep. All right, Keith in Long Island. We're going to run for a break, but thanks for the call. Take care. It's the Steve Kane Show. I'm Brian Craig. Back after this.
The Cold.
All right, guys. Now, I am 32 subscribers away from 58,000. There's well over 1,100 people in the chat. There have got to be enough of you in this chat to get me to that 58K number during the show. So go ahead and subscribe, guys. Get your friends to subscribe. Tell them about this show. Give me that 58K. I need to get a little bit over and get a buffer, but you guys can help me do that. Oh, man. Where am I? Oh, yes. I got to tell everybody about Forever Youth when we get back. Oh, well, thank you for subbing. He's on a tight rope, but he certainly got it out there. And I'm so glad he had Miranda Devine on to give some analysis after. She's so brilliant, Miranda Devine, isn't she? Oh, man.
You're a Florida homeowner, and you know that real estate is selling for the highest prices ever. With so many listing their house, you want your house to stand out above the rest and to get top dollar. That's where licensed real estate agent Elena Castro comes in. She's with Ballesteri Real Estate, who's been in business since 1964, working with homeowners, buyers, and tenants
boy, if you're on hold, stand by. The phones are busy. I'm getting to the phones as fast as I can.
As well as top negotiation talents. When you list your property with Elena Castro, she knows the right listing price to give you multiple offers, so you accept the offer you want. And if you're looking to buy,
It's the last commercial.
give Elena Castro a call.
Someone asked, that's Mike, the board out behind me. Someone asked, that's the master control room. He's runs the commercials, runs all the technical things, runs the show from back there.
954-478-5015.
We take on the social justice warrior for breakfast. Now the Steve Kane Show is on the...
All right, welcome back. Huge announcements from Forever Youth. You know, any lab test now of Boca and any lab test now of Coral Springs, which is where I go for all of my lab testing, my family, my mother, or my daughter, my wife. We go to any lab test now of Boca for our lab testing, and they've expanded right next door and opened up Forever Youth. This is in the Sandalwood Plaza, where the Western Beef is, in Boca, south of Palmetto, north of Hillsborough, on the east side of 441. And Forever Youth, for the month of March, has incredible specials, but you got to mention you heard about them on the radio. 20% off for first-time customers for their injectables, which includes Botox, Kybella, and lip injections. 20% off for first-time customers. Laser hair removal, 50% off laser hair removal at Forever Youth in Boca. But you got to mention you heard about them on the radio. That's for everybody. 50% off. Now, the Cool Sculpting Elite, which is FDA approved, this is amazing, okay? Now, the Cool Sculpting Elite, we learned about this because one of Steve's daughters had this. She had a few babies, and she went in and got this. It does everything liposuction does, but it's not a violent surgical procedure like liposuction. Go online and watch a liposuction procedure, if you dare. Cool Sculpting Elite freezes your fat cells, and then they sculpt the area of your body to look and be in the shape that it's supposed to be in. It's absolutely amazing. It is FDA approved, and it works on any area of your body with fat. Stomach, love handles, the back of your arms, double chins, quadruple chins, one big chin like Mitch McConnell, back, legs. Wherever you have fat, the Cool Sculpting Elite works. And for the month of March, you can have 8 areas treated with the Cool Sculpting Elite for the price of 4. You pay for 4, you get 8 areas of your body treated with Cool Sculpting Elite and rid you of fat. Isn't that amazing? Here's the number, 561-717-8081. 561-717-8081. Again, that's 561-717-8081. All right, let's go back to the phones. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from? Good morning. Once, twice. See, this is the liberal response, people. You know, this week is going to be a tough week for the liberals. It's going to be a very bad week for the Republican establishment, too. And I don't watch too much Fox, but I watched a lot of Fox yesterday because of Tucker Carlson. And I saw they have, of course, one of my least favorite people. They had Karl Rove on telling Trump it's time to move on and everything else. Okay, it's not time to move on. You know, this is the era of Trump. He is our nominee in 2024, and he will be president again and be the 47th president of the United States. Now, there's a couple other things I want to mention that are in the news that are very, very important. American citizens, as we speak right now, American citizens are being held hostage in Mexico. Where is Biden? This is outrageous. They've been identified, and I was talking about this on my podcast last night, but now we have them identified. 4 Americans missing after being kidnapped at gunpoint during trip to Mexico are named. It's revealed that the female victim traveled down for a tummy tuck. Well, she should have gone to Forever Youth and gotten the Cool Sculpting Elite, and she, you know, instead of going to Mexico. But the 4 Americans are African Americans, are black. Where is Black Lives Matter? Where is Jean-Pierre? And let me tell you, where's Biden? And here's the deal. This is what I know about these 4 Americans. They're Americans. I don't need to know anything else. I saw the video. they were kidnapped by drug cartel soldiers, and Biden's not doing a darn thing about it. If Trump were in the White House right now, they'd already be home. And I don't care where they were. I don't care why they were there. They're American citizens. And when you're an American citizen, you should be able to travel no matter where you are, feeling safe that if something happens to you abroad, your government will get you out. Okay? You know, Biden walked across the bridge in Selma. I don't know if you call that walking. He could hardly walk. He was being held up by the activists. I mean, go watch the video. He walked across the bridge in Selma honoring African Americans over the weekend. What about these 4 African Americans? God only knows what they're going through right now. If I were the president, I would go on television and say this. If these 4 Americans, because right now it's 8 minutes till 8 a.m. here on the East Coast, right? If these 4 Americans are not safely delivered back to the United States by noontime, all foreign aid to Mexico will end. All travel from the United States to Mexico will be ordered stopped until they are returned. All cruise ships heading to Mexican ports are to be turned around immediately. All airlines will flying out of the United States will be ordered at noontime not to fly to Mexico. Americans in Mexico can leave, but there'll be nothing coming in. All imports from Mexico will be stopped at noon until these Americans are returned alive. But he doesn't care. See, the big guy can't get 10% like he's stealing from the Ukraine funding. Okay? All the big guy cares about is getting his cut, his 10%. It's disgusting. It's disgusting what's going on. And I'm looking at this story. Let me read through some of this now that they've been identified. I saw the video and I could tell that the woman was black and couldn't see the others too much. The 4 Americans who were kidnapped at gunpoint during a trip to Mexico have been identified as both countries work to locate them. By the way, the FBI has a $50,000 reward. Now, I'm not a mathematician, but is that $12,500 when you divide it by 4? So is Joe Biden and the FBI saying that a black American's life is worth $12,500? That's all they're worth? Latavia Tay McGee had traveled to Mexico Wednesday for a tummy tuck. She was joined by her cousin, Shaeed Woodard, and friends Zindell Brown and Eric James Williams. McGee and Woodard are the only 2 kidnapping victims who've been photographed so far. The missing friends thought they could split up the driving responsibilities as they traveled from their home in South Carolina to Mexico for McGee's surgery. When they crossed the border from Brownsville, Texas on Friday, they were attacked by a group of gunmen who confused them with Haitian smugglers. I don't know and I don't care. All I know is Joe Biden shuffling across the bridge in Selma, pretending like he cares about black people. We have 4 black Americans that were abducted at gunpoint, and he's not doing a darn thing about it. But you know what? He has the first black gay immigrant press secretary, so he's down with the blacks and the gays. If these 4 people, if these 4 Americans had gone to Mexico for transgender sex change operations, I bet you Biden would be working on it. It's disgusting. You're on the radio. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Hey, Dave Pompano. How are you?
All right, Dave.
Good. Hey, usually agree with you most times, but I got to say you're wrong about President Trump getting them out already. They would have never been taken hostage if President Trump was still.
Well, that's true. Remember remember that American Marine that was being held in Mexico when Obama was president and Trump got him back?
Yep.
He wasn't even president.
No question. No question about it. But once he was in and the embargoes and they had Mexican military on the border assisting us with the border crisis,
yeah. Why do you think Joe Biden thinks that? Why do you think Joe Biden believes an African American is only worth $12,500 because that's what the reward is?
Because he's racist.
I guess so. I mean, that's first off, there will be no reward. Mexico, there is no reward. Return them alive by noon, or there will be an embargo against Mexico. How about that?
Absolutely. It would have already been in effect. I mean, they would have been cooperating on border security. We wouldn't have the millions of people crossing the border like we've had. It's just an absolute disgrace.
How do you think they process this at the White House?
Ignore it, let it go away. It's only 4 people. What do we care? We got bigger things to worry about, which aren't the bigger things.
And by the way, they're from South Carolina. Where's Nikki Haley? Can she stop being a victim? Oh, they don't like me because I'm brown. Nikki Haley is the former governor of South Carolina, running for president. Why doesn't she try to get some of her fellow South Carolinians out of Mexico and do something about it instead of whining about what Anderson Cooper said about her? What a jerk she is.
Yeah, well, the answer is because they don't win South Carolina, and Nikki's going to run for president, whether she wins or not. That's the answer there.
Yeah.
She's a Republican running out of South Carolina, so why even help? We're not going to win that state, so what?
Yeah. There's no. Well, don't they want the black vote back, the Democrats? These are 4 black Americans. They're probably Democrats.
Yeah, well, like I said, it wouldn't happen if Trump was there, and
that's true.
What's happening at the border?
That's true. Take care. Thanks for the call. Yeah. Order all the cruise ships to turn around. Order the planes to not leave. Americans can leave, but nobody can enter. By noon, 4 hours. You got 4 hours. 1 hour for each American. There's no reward. We're not going to pay ransom. My goodness. By the way, when Biden was walking across the bridge in Selma over the weekend, did anyone point out that in 1978, when he was in can you imagine 1978? He was in Saturday Night Fever was in its first run in the movie theaters, and this guy was in the United States Senate. Jimmy Carter was president. Did anyone talk when he was walking across the bridge on Sunday in Selma that in 1978, Joe Biden went to Jimmy Carter and tried to maintain segregation in private schools? That's right. He tried to maintain segregation in private schools so that white kids wouldn't have to go to school with black kids. That's what Joe Biden did, who was shuffling across the bridge in Selma with Jesse Jackson and Al Sharpton over the weekend. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Hi, Brian. My name is Lori. I just want that homeless lady's number.
I'm not giving out people's numbers on the air, but we're looking into it. No, we're taking care of it. We're taking care of things. I'm not exchanging numbers, especially with people in this audience. You never know who's out there. We got a lot of trolls. I'm not going to give ladies numbers around. All right, we're coming up on our top of the hour break. Our number toll free 1-888 go Kane 1 888 465-2631 888-465-2631. It is a toll-free call no matter where you are calling us from. We'll continue with your calls. We'll talk about Tucker Carlson. What do you think Biden should do to get these? I don't care if they're Democrat. I don't care if they're members of the Communist Party USA. They are American citizens, and they should be returned, and they would be if President Trump were in the White House. All right, we'll take our break for the top of the hour. Come back with more of your calls, and there's a few other stories we got to touch on as well. I'm Brian. It's the Steve Kane Show. Back after this.
WWNN Pompano Beach, WIRK HD3 Indiantown.
Steve Kane Show. Steve Kane Show. Yeah. What do you want to talk about? Hold on. No, if you turned around the cruise ships and stopped travel and cut off all aid to Mexico, they'd be back. They'd be back in an hour. Okay.
Good morning, everybody. Hope your day's off to an awesome start. We're going to see daytime highs again today in the upper 80s, hotter than even yesterday. Partly cloudy skies throughout and light winds. I'm WPPF 25. First morning meteorologist Sandra Shaw. Weather brought to you by
Where am I?
Furniture. Route 1 Seminole Plaza Shops, North Palm Beach. Palm Beach Patio Furniture. Voted in the best of the best patio store in Palm Beach County. PalmBeachPatioFurniture.com, where luxurious outdoor spaces are created.
And now, True Oldies Traffic Check. Brought to you by the Palm Beach Kennel Club.
The Palm Beaches, the major expressways are still crashed. This morning, we're largely moving at the speed between local and Clay and Cooper Burgess, and like the right now,
Did you see this story about Carrie Lake? Oh my goodness.
Broward County hiatus road is now reopened southbound between Broward and Florida 595. You have a crash blocking the left lane on the Sawgrass Expressway northbound with 41. This report is sponsored by the Florida Department of Transportation.
Let me see if I should play the clip of Carrie or read the story.
It shows how desperate these people are to stop me and to silence you. I decided to share this. It's a little bit controversial, but I'm going to put this out. Somebody showed up at my door this week. They called me before and said, I got to talk to you in person. It can't be done over the phone. Which is always kind of like, uh-oh, what's that going to be about? They came to my door and they tried to bribe me out of getting out of politics. It's really happened. I'm telling you this because this is how disgusting politics is. A mom who runs for office and they're afraid of me. They tried to bribe me with a job title.
Oh my goodness.
With a huge salary, a position on a board. This is how
Wow.
they do it. And I said, are you kidding me? I walked away from a big job and a big salary. I'm not motivated by that stuff, guys. I'm not. So this person standing before me was sent at the request of.
Wow. Yeah, I'm going to play this when we get back. This is insane. This is insane. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. Welcome. Hey guys, I am like 32 subscribers away from 58,000. So if you've not subscribed, please subscribe. Give me that 58K. That would be amazing. $32 subs away from 58,000. I'm so excited. Oh my goodness. I missed my opportunity to go to the men's room. I'll have to do it at the bottom of the hour break. The quarter after break's not long enough. Let's see. Oh boy. Oh my goodness. Yeah, there's over 1,100 people in the live stream right now. This is something else that I saw they have. It is a it's a oatmeal something toast espresso. I started drinking the iced coffee to get more water in me because I get all the ice. Because I'm always so dehydrated because I go so much. I do 2 shows a day, so I drink so much caffeine, which dehydrates you. You know. Cinnamon toast, crunch popcorn. I don't know who decided that cereal was a good breakfast. It's like pure sugar. My favorite cereal, though, is Cocoa Pebbles. I've had many Cocoa Pebbles for dinner. I go cuckoo for Cocoa Pebbles. Is there a cereal better than Cocoa Pebbles? Oh, my goodness. The pistachio, I'll try that next. I'm allergic to wheat. So a lot of things have wheat in them, and I can tolerate a little, but having just wheat, I wouldn't be able to breathe. When I have too much wheat, I can't breathe. Cocoa Pebbles, there is no cereal better than Cocoa Pebbles. All right. The phones are on fire today. I'm Brian Craig, Steve Kane joining us. Hey, Steve. Oh,
Unbelievable.
that's great.
Could be the Secretary of State, the MAGA Secretary of State.
That's right.
And just off the top of your head, you came up with a foreign policy, made a foreign policy decision on your own bank.
Yeah.
And this whole government is mired in muck.
Now let me ask you: when the government, so the 4 Americans held hostage in Mexico, the FBI has offered $50,000 for their release. So
If they followed your blueprint,
yeah,
and they did it word for word when you said that these guys would be home already.
Well, I got a couple questions. Okay, so the FBI is saying that the Biden administration and Merrick Garland are saying that Black American lives are worth $12,500 each. Where's BLM on that? I mean, my goodness. And here's my question: if when we pay the ransom of $12,500 a person, does the big guy get 10% of that? Biden? Good question. Callers on hold, stand by. I want to play something for you. By the way, did you catch Tucker last night, Steve?
I certainly did.
Okay, this is not Tucker. This is the great Carrie Lake. I love Carrie Lake, and my wife and her talk. My wife has Carrie Lake's cell phone number. They text on occasion. They're acquaintances, and I hope that the president, that's Trump, picks her to be his press secretary. But she talked at CPAC, and this has not gotten any play, and we've been so busy, I've not been able to get to it yet. But I want to share it now. She spoke at CPAC, Carrie Lake, and she told a story in a lot of detail about how they tried to bribe her if she would not run for office, run for governor of Arizona. Did you hear this, Steve? Oh, listen to this. This is Carrie Lake at CPAC over the weekend. And of course, my computer froze. That's what happens. It's live radio. It'll just start playing at random at some point. Oh, isn't that wonderful? I love when the dramatic buildup, and then that happens. But I'm going to play this. It's huge. I was going to just read what she said, but I listened to it during the break, and it's so dramatic that it's got to be played. If it'll play. See, they're trying to stop us from playing it. Okay, now an ad is running. Hold on, guys. Live radio. The 150,000 of you out there listening hey, it's more exciting than a lot.
Desperate these people are.
Okay, finally got it. Here we go.
Me to silence you. I decided to share this. It's a little bit controversial, but I'm going to put this out. Somebody showed up at my door this week. They called me before and said, I got to talk to you in person. This can't be done over the phone. She's always kind of like, uh-oh, what's that going to be about? They came to my door and they tried to bribe me out of getting out of politics. It's really happened. I'm telling you this because this is how disgusting politics is. A mom who runs for office and they're afraid of me. They tried to bribe me with a job title, with a huge salary, a position on a board. This is how they do it. And I said, are you kidding me? I walked away from a big job and a big salary. I'm not motivated by that stuff, guys. I'm not.
Wow.
So this person standing before me was sent at the request of some powerful people back east. They want me.
Okay, and she said in the beginning that was last week. Wow, and that's some story. Not getting any news coverage because they don't want that. And she's going to have to start identifying who that was and who sent them because this story is starting to pick up some legs. So, what do you want to do, Steve? Do you want to talk about Tuck? You want to take calls? What do you want to do?
Oh, I'd like to talk about your new foreign policy.
Oh, getting our Americans back from Mexico? Well, yeah.
Very simple when you stop and you think about it, because that basically the philosophy you expressed, which is, be strong, direct, take no crap from
19 away from 58,000.
Dictators
19
around the
away.
world and America first.
Yeah.
The example of America first.
Well, I mean, I'll repeat what my He doesn't care. You know, this is the thing. There are four
fortitude to carry it out.
That's right. There's these four Americans that are being held hostage in Mexico. That in Black Lives Matter, if anyone is in this audience from Black Lives Matter, I'll keep a line open for the rest of the show, or I will call it the BLM line. I want to hear from someone from Black Lives Matter, 1-888-465-2631. Could you explain your emotional response to the Biden administration offering $50,000 rewards for 4 Black Americans being held hostage in Mexico? That means that Merrick Garland, the Attorney General, and that Joe Biden believes a Black life is only worth $12,500. Wow. Well, it's $50,000 reward. You divide it by 4, that's $12,500 a life.
Is it? Do you have to take the whole amount?
Well, they offered $50,000. This is the FBI Justice Department reward, $50,000 for the return of the 4 Americans. So that's $12,500 each. That's how they figured. That's the math. And then you got to kick 10% to the big guy, you know. But I'm serious. You know, we're going to keep a line open for Black Lives Matter until 9 o'clock. The BLM line. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from? Okay, that's me in the background. Okay, call back. Good morning. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from? Oh my goodness, we're on a roll, Steve. Good morning. You're on the radio, which it was going well. Once, twice. All right. Good morning. You're on the air. Yeah. Oh, now we've interrupted a conversation. Good morning. You're on the air.
Joellen from Fort Lauderdale.
Hey, Joellen.
Hey, I just heard on the news when I first turned you on that they are offering, and I'm not sure who it is, they're offering $30,000 for the return of the
what MAGA people? What are you talking about?
The people that were in the insurrection. So they said that they're offering $30,000 for the return of those people.
Oh, that's a different reward. Let's not confuse people. Well, you know, these Americans that are being held hostage in Mexico, Joellen, why does the Biden administration believe Black lives are only worth $12,500 each?
$50,000, like
4.
Like they're gonna fall for that anyway.
Mm-hmm.
That's awesome. I woke up. I was just listening to this program today. So good job, Brian.
All right, take care. Oh, kind words from Joellen. A compliment from Joellen is a rare thing. All right, we'll be right back.
Sidelines. Get in on the action. Call the Steve Kane Show live on air now. 888-GO-KANE-1. This is the Steve Kane Show with Brian Craig on Oldies 95.9 and 106.9.
All right, and it's time to check in with Attorney Barry Siegel from the Siegel Law Group. Attorney Barry Siegel, good morning.
Good morning. How are you guys doing today?
I'm doing well. What do you have for us today, Barry?
Well, you know, you could have the greatest estate plan in the world where everything in your trust and your will and power of attorney, it's all done perfectly, but it still may not work if you run out of money before you die. Then really what's the point of it? And that's why it's so important to make sure that not only do you set up your estate plan properly, but you set it up in a way so that if the time comes where you or your spouse
15
may need
from
help,
58K,
may need
guys.
care, whether it be at home or outside of the home in an
14
assisted
away.
living facility or a skilled nursing
Thanks,
facility,
guys.
a nursing home.
We're almost there.
Those types of care are very expensive, and you could end up spending down your assets and potentially going down to zero and dying with nothing and running out of money. So that's why it's so important to have a plan for long-term care. And if you don't have long-term care insurance or you don't have enough long-term care insurance, then the alternatives left are either to look at government benefits or to spend down your assets. And at the Siegel Law Group, we help people, even if you have assets and income over the Medicaid limits, we can still help many people qualify and protect their assets. So we want to make sure we have an estate plan where we are able to leave a legacy to our loved ones, avoid probate, avoid guardianship, and protect our assets.
That's absolutely correct. And if you're married, you don't want to leave your surviving spouse with nothing, which happens sometimes. A couple, they'll sell the house, and mom, dad, whoever the surviving spouse is, moves in with the kids, and that's not good. Listen, it's always a free consultation with the Siegel Law Group. If you mention you heard Attorney Barry Siegel on the radio, and the Siegel Law Group cover the entire state of Florida. Their main office is in Boca, and they have physical locations from throughout Palm Beach, Dade, and Broward counties. But no matter where you are in the state of Florida, the Siegel Law Group can help. Find them online at siegellawgroup.com. siegellawgroup.com, or call toll free 855-FLA-3782. 855-FLA-3782. Attorney Barry Siegel, we'll talk later in the week. All right, back after this.
On the air since 1977, it's the Steve Kane Show with Brian Craig.
Indeed it is. I'm Brian. Steve Kane is here, and let's go back to our phones. We have one line we're keeping open. Mike, keep one line open. That's the Black Lives Matter line. Just to recap, for African Americans, I don't care if they're African Americans or what, they're Americans, but for Americans who are black, African Americans are being held hostage by the cartels in Mexico. Biden has offered a $50,000 reward, which means Biden is telling us that black lives are worth $12,500. I think that number is a little low. So we're going to keep one line open for Black Lives Matter to call in and share their thoughts on that. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Hi, Brian.
Yes. Turn the volume down of whatever you're listening to us on in the background.
That's my cell phone. Listen, Brian. Hi. I called a couple times before. This is Fran at West Point.
Uh-huh.
I think I told you last time. I really don't watch Fox that much. But last night, my friend called me and says, "Franny, are you watching Carlson?" And I said, "No." So I put it on, and I'm like, "Oh my God, I got goosebumps!" Right?
Mm-hmm.
And it was right there. And we saw some of that footage before. Remember 2 years ago? A lot of that was on already, but some of that new stuff is a lot.
No, okay. Let me get back in the Tucker a little bit. Don't go anywhere, okay? Just hang in there. Let me explain to people that are just tuning in. Do not. There are a lot of MAGA people who are on social media who are saying we knew all this. There's nothing new. That's not true. We had theories. Many called them conspiracy theories. We had eyewitnesses who told us this happened and that happened. What Tucker Carlson had for the very first time is turned those conspiracy theories into conspiracy facts. And there were two pieces last night that are very important. One, the shaman, the Viking shaman. We saw that not only was he being escorted around by Capitol Police officers, but the Capitol Police officers were trying to find an unlocked door into the Senate chamber so he could walk in, which they eventually did. That was all new. The Capitol Police officer who MAGA people were being accused of murdering by Biden and everybody else in the media and in government, Tucker Carlson showed him alive and well doing crowd control inside the Capitol after he was supposedly murdered. And those are huge revelations that we have never seen before.
Right. You know that January 6th committee are sick people. They're evil. They are so evil. That's all. That's me and my friend. That's all we said. Because afterwards, she called me up again afterwards, and she said, "They're evil people."
Well, yeah.
I thought the government was crooked. I thought the government was crooked, but I never knew to this extent that they would want to. Well, it's all about keeping power.
Well, it's all about it. Yeah. Well, here's the thing too. Another thing we learned that was just amazing that Tucker Carlson revealed yesterday. And by the way, this is only night one. This is a whole series all week long. And you know he's going to have the big kahuna at the end. He's starting slow. He built up to a big finale. But one thing he discovered is that the January 6th committee, they took video surveillance that had no sound and added the sounds of screaming, yelling, and noises in the background to make it sound like, they added sound to silent video for effect. Tucker Carlson unveiled that for the first time last night.
Oh, my God. I wish these people that are in prison get released because it's just...
Now, what are your thoughts on these 4 African Americans being held in Mexico that Biden doing nothing about?
Well, I just saw that on the news. I'm like, oh my gosh. I mean, that's terrible. It's like up to par with Biden. What does he do about anything anyway?
That's right. That's right. Hey, listen. Thanks for the call. I appreciate it. All right. Good morning. You're on the radio. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Right.
Yeah. Yes, you're on the air.
Good morning. Ivy and Broward.
Hey, Broward.
On a tear. You were on a tear. That was pretty funny. Inside joke. It reminded me of when Joyce Kaufman was on a tear, which she's out of that. Hilarious.
Please don't compare anything I do to Joyce Kaufman. When people in the audience stop listening to this program and never return because it's terminally boring, then you can compare us to Kaufman.
But seriously, though, I want people to go back and listen to Ben. I think he's impossible. Listen to what Ben said. Go back into the show. He said this distinctly, okay? He painted the picture of what's going on in the bigger picture. All right? Play on words. Like I said, 4 years of probate, looking at these people, right?
Okay. All right. Appreciate the call. You know what I think that is? I think that's Joyce Kaufman's board op trying to get just one listener to her show. Let me tell you, our show, when I have the little flub and we have some dead air and I can't get the Carrie Lake video to play, that's more interesting than anything that's been on the Kaufman show since we were involved in it. It was interesting when Steve and I were on that show a long time ago doing some stuff with her, but not since then. It's been many years. I got to tell you guys, this is the MyPillow March Madness sale going on right now where you can save up to 80% off top MyPillow products with our promo code Kane at checkout. And this is just amazing. Up to 80% off when you use our promo code Kane. But I want to talk about the MyPillow 6-piece towel set. I have 2 sets of these. We have 2 bathrooms in my house. Steve has 8 in his house. We have 2 in my house, small house, but we have a set in each one. And we've had our MyPillow towels for a long time, since however long they came out, and when he first released them. And they're like brand new because everything Mike Lindell makes is high quality. But when you see Mike Lindell on television say, towels that actually work, what a concept. I tell people this story, and this is true. I get up early in the morning, as I always do, take a shower to come to the radio station. All the towels are dirty. They're all dirty in the laundry room, right? Which is our garage. And all I had, Steve, was the little tiny washcloth from the MyPillow towel set. And it's a small washcloth. Just a little tiny washcloth. It's the smallest of the 6 pieces of the towel set. That's all I had that was clean. But I got to take a shower. So I took a shower. I get out of the shower. I pick up the MyPillow washcloth. I dried off my entire body and my hair, and I was completely dry with that's how good these towels are, that even with the washcloth alone and no towels, I was completely dry, including my hair. And it's amazing. And I could have dried off again with it. The towels, the towel sets are so good. That's just that little washcloth. Now, the 6-piece MyPillow towel set, I bought mine when they first came out and paid $99.98, 2 cents shy of $100. And you know what? They're worth every penny. But with our promo code Kane right now at mypillow.com, just $49.99. It's half off. $49.99. They come in, let's see here, 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. They come in 10 different colors as well. One set of mine's white, the other is navy blue, but they have a set for any bathroom you have. Just $49.99, but you've got to use the promo code Kane at checkout. Again, it is the MyPillow March Madness sale. Save up to 80% off. You can use our promo code on any of the items at mypillow.com. You can also order by phone, 1-800-716-4879. 1-800-716-4879. Promo code Kane, Kane. Steve, this January 6th footage, see, I've watched some of the liberal media. I'm going to watch some more of it today, MSNBC and CNN. And when you watch, all they're going to tell you is Fox News isn't news. Tucker Carlson isn't a journalist. You're never going to see them go through what Tucker Carlson went through. If what he was showing with the shaman is a misrepresentation, CNN and MSNBC would show you the video. They would show you what Tucker Carlson said and tell you, no, he is misrepresenting this. This is what the video really, they're not doing that because they can't. Tucker Carlson, what he reported last night, cannot be debunked. It's just the truth. I'm sorry. You know, and the liberal media, I've never seen the news in such a panic when news was being broken. I've just never seen that before, not at this level. And when you watch the liberal media in response to Tucker Carlson, you see hysterical panic attacks that the truth of what happened on January 6th is being exposed. I'm not afraid of what the videos show, and the video shows that some MAGA people did some bad things. That's okay. We just want the truth. We just want to know what actually happened, and that's what Tucker Carlson is showing us. All right, we're going to take our break for the bottom of the hour. If you're on hold, stand by. Our number is toll-free, 1-888-GO Kane 1-888-465-2631. 888-465-2631. We'll be back with your calls after this.
Making morning radio great again. It's the Steve Kane Show with Brian Craig.
Oh, boy. Guys, I'm only 6 away from 58,000. There's way over 1,000 people in the chat. You're telling me we can't get... You got to get me a little bit above. I got to have a buffer zone. But I know there are more than 6 people that are watching right now in this stream that are not subscribed. All right, you got to subscribe. I'm now 4 away from 58,000 subscribers. 4 away from 58,000 subscribers. Yeah, I'm going to go to the men's room. I'm going to take my wireless mic off because I don't need to take this to the men's room so you can hear me in there. And maybe when I come back, I'll have hit 58K. All right, be right back.
Service of Palm Beach Kennel Club. Tickets today for comedian Joe DeBeal from the Gutfeld Show this Friday at the Paddock Restaurant. It's your Irish on St. Patrick's Day, March 17th, with a delicious all-you-can-eat buffet, live Irish music by Joe DeBeal, and the Tierney dancers. Tickets at club.com.
Select Tours invite you on an unforgettable journey to the breathtaking wine country of Portugal on a first-class river cruise sailing down the Douro River. 23rd through September 2nd, you will visit awe-inspiring medieval towns while sipping wine from vineyards decorating the coastline. Free round-trip airfare to Portugal's capital of Lisbon, which you've got to book by March 31st. Visit BrianPortugal.com to book your trip right now. Portugal.com.
All right. All right. Hold on. I got to pull up some stuff for the next segment. 2 away from 58,000, guys. 2 away. Oh, yeah. Got a couple other things we got to touch on. Two away from 58,000. Yes, thank you to the moderators. We have the best moderators on YouTube here. You know, because, you know, what the moderators do is they free me up from not having to pay attention to the trolls, you know. And if you notice with the moderators, we have fewer trolls. Because before, I'd have to focus in on the trolls so much, I couldn't focus in on what I was doing on the air with 100% of my thoughts. so I was a little distracted. And since we've had these great moderators, the moderators have elevated the quality of the show like you wouldn't believe. Well, you would believe because you've been around. One away. Who's going to be the 58,000th subscriber? We're one away from 58K, baby. Now, I got to get a buffer a little bit, but we're at 57,999. Oh, we just hit it. 58,000 subs. Thanks, everyone who subbed. 58, but don't stop because you got to get a buffer. I need to get like 10 or 15 above, but we just hit 58,000 subscribers. Oh, man. Thank you, guys. Oh, that's awesome. That's crazy. That is so awesome. Thank you, guys. Oh, man. Thank you so much. I appreciate that, guys. And we still have 28 minutes of the show left. That's awesome. Oh, my goodness. Keep subbing, though, because you got to get that buffer. Oh, I just lost one. Someone just unsubbed. We're now back to 57,999. See, that's why I got to get the buffer. Some liberal that watches, they don't want, probably Greg too, doesn't want us to hit the 58K, so he unsubbed. That's what liberals do. I'm gonna unsub, That's what liberals do, man. That's why you got to get the buffer. As soon as I'm celebrating, some liberal jerk watching unsub. What a jerk! Oh my goodness. We got to get that liberal buffer. I mean, liberals they're not happy unless somebody else is suffering, right? That's what liberals do. Oh my goodness. Last commercial. We're coming back. That's what liberals do, That's why I never really make a big deal about subs, but when I get close to a number, to a milestone, All right, we're back. I'm Brian Craig. Steve Kane is here. Our number 888-GO-KANE-1. Did you see Mayor Pete and Hillary on television, Steve? Oh my goodness. I watch liberal stuff and find out about things. So he went to the Clinton Foundation to speak, and Mrs. Clinton was there, and it's just a short clip. She referred to Mayor Pete as a trailblazer, and then what he's commenting on is her calling him a trailblazer. Listen. This is not the good. This is not a good day for sound bites. Hold on. Let me rewind it.
Yeah, I mean, again, I'm humbled to have a word like trailblazer used when I'm sitting next to you and knowing all the cracks you put in that glass ceiling.
All the cracks you put in that glass ceiling. I thought the cracks she put in the life of her husband's sex assault victims. Like Juanita Broderick. But the reason I share this is it's no big deal to be gay. Mayor Pete, everyone's gay now, pretty much. It seems that way, at least, except me and Steve, right? And Trump. Everybody else is gay. But what's shocking today is when a kid goes to their parents and says, "Mom, Dad, I've got to tell you guys something. Please sit down. I'm straight." That's when people, that's the shocking thing. It's true. I'm straight. That's newsworthy, right? Next, there'll be an NBA star who comes out as straight, and we'll know. But no, seriously, she's calling him a trailblazer because he's credited as the first openly gay cabinet member. And this is disgusting to me. And it's very disgusting to hear Hillary do this. And it's not true. And what I'm about to say is not a joke. Janet Reno was the first openly gay cabinet member, and she was Bill Clinton's attorney general. She was not in the closet. She was the state's attorney in Miami for a long time. She was born and raised in Miami. And she was always a part of Florida politics, Janet Reno. And everyone knew, and she was out of the closet as a lesbian woman. Now, the media didn't talk about it. Nobody cared. The media didn't talk about it. And, and her whole life wasn't being gay. Now, she was a liberal, and she did a lot of things. Janet Reno is responsible for 9/11 in many ways because there was an opportunity to take bin Laden out long when Bill Clinton was president, and she told Bill Clinton not to do it. It was illegal. And Janet Reno, and what she did with Elian Gonzalez is disgusting. She said you can't assassinate a head of state, like Al Qaeda's a state, right? And if Janet Reno had not recommended that, 9/11 may not have happened. So she was a liberal, a hardcore liberal, and a jerk, but she was openly a lesbian woman, and that's a fact. You know, I'm not making fun or anything. And Bill Clinton, that it made her attorney general, what, in 94, 93? She wasn't his first pick. The first pick was a woman who had not paid taxes on a nanny or something, Zoe Bear, remember that? And she was the second pick, but she was gay, and she was openly gay, and everyone knew it. And for Mayor Pete to go, and she was a liberal jerk, but she was an accomplished woman with a career of accomplishments. She wasn't like, okay, I'm gay, I'm a trailblazer. It's not a big deal to be gay in 2023, Mayor Pete. I'm sorry to tell you. And I find it, you know, Janet Reno was out of the closet when it was not popular, when it wasn't a cool thing to do. You know, like Neil Rogers on the radio came out of the closet in the 70s. Nobody was out of the closet in the 70s outside of San Francisco or the Village, right? You know, and Mayor Pete he's a complete. There are people in East Palestine who have been poisoned. You know, one of these chemicals in East Palestine is one of those chemicals that was used in the First World War, Steve. Thought those were illegal. And while Americans have been poisoned on his railways, as he's in charge of, he's over there with Hillary Clinton patting himself on the back for being a trailblazer. He's a trailblazer when it comes to incompetent cabinet members. He's the first incompetent openly gay cabinet member. I'll give him that. But I mean, I just find it disgusting. And so far as Mrs. Clinton, you know, what did she ever do that is amazing or historic? You know, Carrie Lake, she's somebody that's about to break some glass ceilings. Sarah Palin. Carrie Lake and Sarah Palin do not come from rich families or political dynasties. And Sarah Palin became the governor of our biggest state, Alaska. Carrie Lake is on the road to something big. She lives in a small townhome. She's not rich, and she has connections now, but she didn't. Okay. And Hillary Clinton, remember, Hillary Clinton's parents were part of a cell in New York. It was made up of Hillary Clinton's parents, Valerie Jarrett's parents, Bill Ayer's parents, and Frank Marshall Davis were part of this leftist cell in New York. She was always connected, and she achieved nothing. Okay, the only thing she achieved was being married to Bill Clinton, who became president. She didn't accomplish anything on her own. She didn't become senator on her own. Remember Bill Clinton, Steve? He was president, pardoned those Puerto Rican terrorists, and to get the Puerto Rican vote for her. And then there were those other criminals from one of the Jewish communities. Remember that in New York? He commuted their sentences or something, so that town would vote for her. And that's how she became senator. She became attorney general because Bill made a deal with Obama that if he would make her the Secretary of State, that she and him would endorse Obama. All right. She accomplished nothing on her own. Her biggest accomplishment is a failure, Benghazi. And she's sitting here with the woman who brought us Benghazi is sitting next to the guy that brought the baby formula shortage and East Palestine, and they're patting each other on each other's backs as trailblazers. I mean, I don't understand, Steve. I just don't understand it. It's like putting Kaufman in the Radio Hall of Fame. But but I would be embarrassed. I'd be embarrassed, and they don't even have. It would scare you. Well,
no shame.
Well, they think they've done something. You know, I heard someone yesterday. I was watching some of the liberal news because of I was watching the coverage of Tucker Carlson. You know, this clip of Kamala, which is, I have this clip. This one will play the first time when I pull it up, I'm sure. But I heard Kamala Harris referred to as a role model yesterday. A role model to girls. And, you know, I know. And the only and this is true. What I'm about to tell you is true. Kamala Harris is a role model to who? Homewreckers, women who sleep with married men. You can sleep with a powerful, politically connected married man, and you could become vice president someday too. These people have done nothing. You know, look at like she's the border czar, right? The border czarina. That's her job. These 4 Americans that are being held hostage. It doesn't even occur to her that, well, you know what? Maybe I should do something about this to get these Americans, all 4 are African Americans, but get these Americans out of Mexico that are okay. Let me pull this up. I'm sure this will play the first time. Listen, this is Kamala, this clip that everyone's talking about.
In fact, I'm going to share with you a very simple story, which is that I went home one day and I said, well, why are conservatives bad, Mommy? Because I thought we were supposed to conserve things. I couldn't reconcile it. Now I can.
Oh my God. I wonder if she cackled like that when she was with Willie Brown. First off, the story's totally BS. Who would... If a little kid asked something like that, they would say Republican, not conservative back in that day. But everything about these two, it's here we have 4 Americans being held hostage, an entire town poisoned from the train accident. And what do we have? Kamala, Mayor Pete, Joe. You know, did you see Biden walking across the bridge in Selma? Steve? Oh my goodness. He walked across the bridge with Al Sharpton and Jesse Jackson. Jesse Jackson is in a wheelchair and looks like he's comatose. He looks like he's in a coma. They had sunglasses on Jesse. He was in a wheelchair and didn't even move. And Biden and Sharpton can't even hardly walk. They're both being Biden was being held up by 2 people walking across the bridge with him. One woman had her hand under his arm holding him up. A guy had his hand, and Jesse Jackson's wheelchair keeps running over Al Sharpton's feet as they're coming. I'm serious. It's hilarious. I'm serious. And I know. And Jesse Jackson and Al Sharpton were competitors. They didn't get along well. I was wondering if it was on purpose or not. And it was such a joke. You know, while 4 Americans are being held hostage in Mexico because they were taken on Friday. Okay, so how can you walk across the bridge like that over the weekend, pretend that you're all for African Americans while 4 are being held hostage by the cartels? Let's take our break. We'll be back.
The cold, hard truth. Delivered morning 6 to 9 right here on.
All right, and it's time to check in with William Youngerman from the offices of William Youngerman Incorporated with the Morning Gold and Precious Metals Report. William Youngerman, good morning.
Morning, Brian. How you doing?
Great. How are the metals looking today?
Metals giving us that buying opportunity we've been looking for after this nice run up that we had last week. Gold pulled back $10 yesterday and looks like it's going to be down $10 today also. Yesterday, we saw it trade in a range of $1,845 up to $1,859 before closing at $1,846.50. That was down $10 on the day. Silver lost 22 cents, closing at $21.03, while platinum was down $3 at $9.76, and palladium lost $17 at $13.45. This morning, we've got gold down to $1,836 right now, down $10.50. Silver down 28 cents at $20.75 the ounce. Platinum down $26 at $9.50, and palladium unchanged at $13.45. That's pretty much what.
Yeah, and you know, I talk to people quite a bit about the metals, and a lot of people, when they hear, by the way, the prices are priced to buy today, but a lot of people, they hear the price of gold and they're like, I don't have enough money to buy an ounce of gold. And I always tell people about fractional gold. Can you tell people about fractional gold? Because there's gold really for every budget.
Absolutely. We have gold in coin form from 1 10th-ounce, quarter-ounce, half-ounce, and of course the full ounce. But we also have the gold bars from as little as 1 gram. That's 1/31th of an ounce of gold. It's a fraction of an ounce of gold, very affordable for anybody. And then we have 5-gram gold bars and and then 1 ounce gold bars and on up from there. But certainly have something for everybody in gold.
Yeah, and in the fractional gold coins that come from the different mints, like the Gold Eagle and other countries, they come in 10th ounce, quarter ounce, half ounce, and then the full ounce, and you get 10 over a course of time. You get 10 10th ounce, you got an ounce of gold, right? I mean, it's so don't say, well, I don't have enough to get a whole ounce. That's okay. That's where the fractionals come in. Gold is gold, people. And a lot of times, William, when people buy silver and they hold on to it, and they can turn that into gold too, right?
Times when the markets if the silver runs up, we'll see a lot of people trading their silver back in for maybe gold if they think it's undervalued at the time, and it's very easy to trade without any tax ramifications, any kind of the precious metals back and forth into other commodities
That's right. So no matter your budget, you can get involved in the metals with William Youngerman. He opens up weekdays at 10 a.m. online at williamyoungerman.com. You can give him a call toll free, 1-800-327-5010, 1-800-327-5010, or stop right in. He's located in Boca, just east of US 1 Federal Highway on the south side of Palmetto Park Road in the Bank of America building. The address is 150 East Palmetto Park Road in Boca. All right, William Youngerman, we'll talk tomorrow. All right, back after this.
Take on the social justice warriors for breakfast. Now the Steve King.
All right. Yes, it is. And I want to talk about my chiropractor, Dr. Philip Appleton. His laser away pain treatment is amazing. He rid me of years of suffering of knee pain, rid me of my arthritis pain in my finger, which was really tough. Oh, my goodness. My arthritis pain gone after just one treatment, and it has not returned. And it's been months. I mean, it's been like 6 months. My knee pain's been coming close to a year. 2 treatments with his laser away pain treatment. My knee pain is gone, and neither of these pains have returned. And, his laser away pain treatment, which involves no injections, it's completely painless. No drugs. Drugs just mask the symptoms of pain anyway. No surgery and no downtime. Works on more than just knee pain and arthritis pain. Any type of pain you have, it works. Rotary tears, herniated disc, chronic pain, neck pain, any joint, tinnitus, sciatica, bursitis. If you have a sports injury, a work injury, give him a call. Dr. Appleton is a chiropractic physician, and he wants you to be free of pain. All right. He's open 6 days a week. Appointments are not necessary. Walk-ins are welcome, even on Saturdays. Online at AppletonChiro.com, or call him at 954-973-0710. 954-973-0710. Give him a call and say bye-bye to your pain. All right. So, yeah, I mean, this is going to be this is a week that you don't want to miss one episode of Tucker Carlson's show. He's doing the entire 5 nights this week, all on his findings with the January 6th video. And I was floored by what he showed. It was all new, and this is evidence, proof that the conspiracy theories are no longer conspiracy theories. They're conspiracy facts. And I got to tell you, Steve, when I saw those Capitol police officers searching with the Viking for an unlocked door so he could enter the Senate chamber, and then they finally found one, and they were taking the lead, checking the doorknobs, I just couldn't believe. Well, that's not something that they just did on their own.
You're right. It's shocking.
Well, I'm assuming of the 5 nights, one night is probably going to be mostly about Ashley Babbitt. Because, and I'll tell you why, there is some footage I've seen of Ashley Babbitt that was taken just moments before she was shot dead by that Capitol cop. And it's in the same spot. She was trying to stop people from advancing. She went up to 2 Capitol police officers and tried to get them to block the door, and they wouldn't do it. They ignored her. So she tried to do it on her own, and she lost her life for it. So I'm sure one of the nights is going to mostly be about Ashley Babbitt. But whatever is coming, last night was just a taste. He's not going to start with his biggest thing. He's going to start low and build up. And when you watch CNN and MSNBC's response to it, forgetting about what they're saying, look at the anchors' faces. They're in a panic. They're terrified about this truth coming out. And that's, I wonder what their thinking's coming out, right? I mean, there's thousands of hours. Tucker hasn't had that long to go through it. For them to be that panicked on CNN, there's things that they're afraid that he found, right? And I wonder what they're afraid of.
I mean, I'm sure there's probably underground information that is circulated by now that there are people on the inside that know what's about.
Oh yeah. Well, they had reporters inside, like the guy that John Sullivan, who was the Black Lives Matter guy in the MAGA gear. He's the one who filmed the shooting, the murder of Ashley Babbitt. He was working for the networks. They paid him to go in there. Okay, he was working for at least one of the cable news outlets. I think I know which one, but I don't want to say because I don't recall 100%. But he was being paid a lot of money by so they had news people in there. So they've seen a lot more footage than we've seen, and they know what's been covered up. They know what they chose not to show, and that's why they're panicked. They're panicked about what they think Tucker might have found. And I tell you, Allison Camerata in particular looked scared beyond imagination last night. All right, let's take some more calls. If you're on hold, stand by. I'll try to squeeze some calls in before the end. Our number is toll-free, 1-888-GO-CANE-1, 888-465-2631, 888-465-2631. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Good morning, Brian and Steve. It's Berta from Texas.
Hey, Berta.
Well, I'm calling. I'm going to tell you why they're panicked, Brian, because they're going to it's going to be proof out there that they're really fake news, that they've been covering and helping to cover everything else.
Yeah.
That's why all the other networks are all worried about it.
Yeah.
God doesn't like ugly, Brian. You know, things come out in the truth. I just sometimes we're impatient. But now this is the truth that's coming out, and whatever you see with your eyes, that doesn't lie. And not only that, if you see also, there was a clip also that I was noticing in YouTube that I think it was Cruz and was it Cotton speaking to the FBI, the one in charge, and they wanted to know if they were disguised as undercover Magna, and they couldn't answer the question.
That's right. I saw that. I remember that clearly. And Tucker said that there were many people in the video doing bad things that they believe are federal agents, and they're hiding their identity to protect that. You know, so that's scary. That's really scary.
It's the government that's doing this to us. That's why, you know, we have to understand, take control of the situation, and they can't control us.
Well, let me tell you, okay. I've recommended this before. Megyn Kelly about a year or so ago interviewed Robert Kennedy Jr., Bobby's son, and they had a long conversation about the assassination of his uncle and father. And he said the deep state did it. He said President Kennedy was not going to increase our presence in Vietnam. They killed him for it. And Johnson's immediate reaction was a major escalation. He said his father was running on getting us out of Vietnam. He died. And then look what happened. Nixon increased our involvement. The reason that the Kennedy files have been sealed for 60 years is because they don't want it to be revealed who really did it. It was the deep state. The panic that we're seeing now with the release of this footage to Tucker Carlson is that the deep state had a big role in this, and they're panicked that that's being revealed.
The politicians involved. So let we the people see who really was involved in the big lie.
Well, I'll tell you, like look at Pelosi. Look at Pelosi. How did you know her daughter makes documentary films? She had it. Her mother's been in Congress her whole life, and on this day, she had a movie crew with her. It was, I mean, she doesn't travel around with a movie crew all the time. Well, now you're a conspiracy factor. All right, take care, Berta. Take care. Now, Anne Marie's in Pompano. Oh my goodness. I got to talk, Steve, to people about a couple things we don't talk about too much on the Anne Marie's menu, and Jerry's bankrolls. Oh my goodness. Now, Jerry's bankrolls go with anything that you order, whether it's one of the Italian favorites like Alfredo or baked ziti, or a sub or a pizza. And what Jerry's bankrolls are, uh, Anne Marie's is famous for them. They're stuffed, they're rolled, then baked fresh, sauce included. You can have 3 cheese, the spinach feta, or the pepperoni mozzarella. Now, I've only had the pepperoni mozzarella, and I love them. And I always get the Jerry's bankrolls. They are amazing. They're absolutely, whatever you order at Anne Marie's, order Jerry's bankrolls. But there's another item that I wanted to share with you that strays a little bit off of the regular Italian favorites. And, when we were first introduced to Anne Marie's, the guy from the sales department here, Brad, that found Anne Marie's, he said, you got to order the Philly cheesesteak. And I said, man, this is homemade Italian food. I'm not going to order. I can't get myself to order a Philly cheesesteak. And then I did. Steve, I've had Philly cheesesteak at pretty much every place that serves them in South Florida. You have not had a Philly cheesesteak like the one at Anne Marie's. Not only is it delicious, like everything else, it is a huge portion. In fact, I'll tell you, it's about 3 meals for me, the Philly cheesesteak. So I got lunch, I got dinner, and I got lunch the next day. But it is so good, the Philly cheesesteak. And I love classic Italian food. All right. So for me to go away from the classic Italian food and jump over to that Philly tells you how good it is, right? So, when you stop into Anne Marie's, make sure you tell them you heard about them on the radio. Anne Marie's is located in Pompano on the northwest corner of US 1 Federal Highway and Copans Road, in the same plaza as the movie theater. All right. They're open for lunch. They have great lunch specials with huge portions too, dinner and takeout. Again, make sure you tell them you heard about them on the radio. Yeah, I cannot tell you the last time I don't think I've ever, Steve, said to myself, okay, the next 5 nights at 8 p.m., I got to watch something on TV. I mean, I don't think, there have been times when there were big television events. You don't have them anymore. Like, remember the day after in the 80s? It was on for 3 nights, right? 2 or 3 nights. Everybody stayed home and watched the day after. The last episode of MASH in 1983, Goodbye, Farewell, Amen. Everybody stayed home and watched the last episode of MASH. Tucker, I'm telling you, there's no bigger critic of Fox News than me. 8 o'clock, Tucker Carlson, all week. Be home, watch it live. You want to watch it live because you don't want to watch other people. You don't want to watch it through the filter of someone else. You want to watch what he does live. Don't watch it on social media edited. Don't watch it on someone else's show. 8 o'clock, Tucker Carlson, and he did the full hour on it. And last night he brought Miranda Devine in for analysis, and she's always brilliant. So this is the first time ever that I've said, okay, 5 nights, I'm not going. This is like in the days of the miniseries, like the Winds of War or something. Remember that? Or Roots, or or Centennial. Remember all those big Shogun? Remember all those? That's what this is like. All right, we're out of time for today. I'm Brian. Steve Kane has been here. You're listening to Florida's longest running radio show, The Steve Kane Show, on the radio since 1977. God bless America. And of course, God bless the greatest president ever, Donald Trump. See you tomorrow, 6 a.m.
WNN AM Pompano Beach.
All right, guys, I got to clear out of the way, but let me check where we're at. Okay, guys, and let me see where we're at. Oh, man, we broke the 58K. Thank you, everyone who subscribed. I appreciate it, guys. Take care. Thanks for watching. We broke